What's happening, everyone? I thought we was going to start. What was that countdown? That wasn't a normal countdown that we normally have.
You're the one that said it. You said start from 30, click live at 15, and then you'll have an intro. I thought you was going to put a new one on or something.
Oh, you silly Billy.
Sort it out, Scott.
Fucking hell, Scott. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. It's Easter. Everyone's having a drink. I ain't having a drink. I've got to go work in the morning. So I've got a cherry aid.
Happy Easter.
Cheers, everyone.
Happy Easter, everyone.
May you all get lovely eggs.
I hope you've all had a lovely day off today. I know I have. I was rough yesterday. I had the vaccine. Started being rough, mate. Started feeling really rough.
I ain't had mine yet. I feel left out. I feel like everyone else has had it apart from me.
Don't worry, mate. I'm in that club at a minute.
That's because we can fight it off, Scott.
Right, cool. So people in the comments, thank you very much for joining us in the chat here. Everyone's been out playing golf, apparently. Listen, we're not that far away from being able to meet up.
No,
Friday Night Pint in person soon.
It's depressing, isn't it?
You can meet up outside, I believe.
Yeah, we're now allowed up to 6 people.
Yes, I got to meet up with Damo and Jace yesterday and have a couple of drinks in the park and film something, a little announcement thing. So it was nice. It's nice to actually connect with people, not through a webcam. So
please tell me that you was filming each other on the swings and the slide and everything.
No, listen, we didn't want to get put on no registers, so we stayed well away from the park, from that part, the kids' park thing. It was on the benches by the. I'll piss off. It was on the benches by the lake. So no, it was nice. A few drinks and back on it again.
I've got to say, right. Look at Ryan's new room. Ain't he done a grand job there, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that is a good green screen? That is really good green screen.
I wish it wasn't a green screen. It'd have been a lot cheaper and saved me a lot of time painting.
Nice.
He's going to do all of our rooms. I've got Nerf guns in the background of mine. Look, I hung them all up.
You ain't even put a bloody curtain up for your son, Nicky. That's a shame. That's shambles.
Oh
mate.
no, we just ordered blinds.
Poor kid. As soon as the sun starts to come up and he's asleep, he's freaking blinded.
He's up there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's up there now. Yeah. It is a lovely room.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much for joining us. What have we been up to this week? Anything nice?
Well, I've been trying to sort this. You know what, right? I must say we are live, and there might be one point where one of them fall off the fucking because apart from the 1981, I've proper put that on with like hooks and everything. But the other ones I bought, you know, them sticky things, the Velcro things.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit panicky that they're going to start falling off. So if it happens, look, it's live.
No, they're
cowboy builders, eh?
They are pretty good, them things. And to be fair, just before I went on, I was feeling them thinking, oh, no, they're not going to come off. But you never know. It might happen. And if it does, it proves it's not a green screen.
Just pick up the ball and boot it.
Yeah, look, it's not a green screen. Woo.
Yeah. My Kathy always said that.
Nice.
Good old girl. Yeah, but no, this week, it's a few ups and downs, really. I don't know if you want to start, and obviously, I think we should mention about Claude. You know, I've seen a lot of people in the chat talking about him, and I think we should definitely raise a glass to him. It really hit me, that news, it really did, because he's such a top bloke, and every time we've worked with Arsenal Fan TV in the past, and every Arsenal event I've been to, and I've met Claude. He's one of the most nicest, down-to-earth people I've ever met. Really nice bloke. And I know sometimes you see him on Arsenal Fan TV screaming and shouting, but he was nothing like that on camera, was he? He was very humble, always had time to come over and talk to us. And, you know, even when we was at the Emirates and we was waiting to do stuff with Robbie, Claude would walk round and come and shake all our hands and say hello. And it's such a sad loss. And it is. I mean... It really hit me because I know he spoke a lot about his mum, and I know he lost his mum a couple of years ago, and he was 58, and you know it don't matter what age you are, you know, all little boys, you know, they love their mums and they miss their mums and want their mums, and it just shows. And it affected him so much. But no, he's a really good bloke, and he's going to be missed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, we just to tell a few stories about Claude, and I don't mean to start it off in a sad way or whatever. But we worked with Claude from early doors. You know, we worked with Robbie from early doors. And as I say, you can say whatever you want about Claude, but he loved Arsenal. He loved Arsenal to the fucking core. Home and away, followed them home and away. It was his life. And I spoke to Robbie. I speak to Robbie quite often, actually, and I always ask how Claude's doing, and I know Claude wasn't doing too well. I know he wasn't. He took the lockdown particularly hard. I know that he had a few health issues and that, and I see like a lot of people speculating about the way he passed, which ended up being false. To be quite honest, I got told that it was a different way of passing, but it wasn't my place to say, and. It's one of those things where you just have to let that take its course, and you see so many people speculating, but the speculations, I don't think they was meant in disrespect. It was just that he did suffer a lot from the hands of time, and we spoke about this last week, so I won't go too much into it. He did suffer a lot from trolls. He did take abuse personally. And I know it wasn't the cause of death, but I hope a few of them people that give him the shit over the years felt guilty, when they heard he passed away, because that sort of stuff's not on. Listen, I know he was, he wasn't in the best of places, Claude. His mental health wasn't always the best, but anytime I saw him, he was so passionate, not just about Arsenal, but about football. And you'd have a conversation with him, and he'd remember the West Ham teams of the past. He'd be able to talk to you about the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and he would really be missed, because when you think about fan TV and the fan TV revolution, he was the forefront of it all. He was the one that really made it prominent. I think him and Ty, they really made it prominent. So
you're saying about Ty, mate. I was speaking to my mate Lee, who's obviously a massive Arsenal fan. He was saying to me that he remembers Claude and Ty together in the 90s going to Arsenal games on the coaches. So I haven't seen obviously Ty release anything or say anything, but I can imagine he's in bits over it, because they were very close. They were a good double act, them two. Really good double act, really good friends as well. And it's just sad all round, It's tragic when things like this happen.
Yeah, I'll raise a glass to Claude.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. He's a top man.
Anyway, let's get into our subjects of today. Scott, what are we talking about?
Take us through the starting topics.
Starting topic: can West Ham keep hold of Declan Rice? Once again, shines for England. Yeah. I watched all 3 games. I haven't watched England for a while. I watched all 3 games. Lingard in the first one was immense, but Rice playing for England just oozes class. He's reading the game. He's such a well-rounded player now in that position, and he outshone every other England player on that pitch. And that's not just the West Ham bias. That's just not my bias for Declan Rice. That is the masterclass that he put in on that pitch in them 2 games.
I've taken it. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go on.
No, I've taken it as a little bit of an insult. The plaudits is all of a sudden everyone's realizing how good a footballer he is, and especially England fans. Fuck me, man. What's he got now? 12, 13 caps for England, something like that. And we've seen from day dot that boy is quality, he's class, and we've been shouting from the rooftops from day dot. And you get all of these people. I remember people say, I remember Tottenham fans telling me Dyer was better in his position, and why is he in the 15 caps? So I do apologise. It must have been 12 before this round of game.
Good,
Yeah,
good,
I
quick
remember.
maths. Good, quick maths.
Did he play in the first one? I don't think he did.
No,
Did he? So-
no, he didn't. No.
No, he didn't.
But yeah, it's you know, and all of a sudden, all of the plaudits just look, let's be fair. 6 months ago, some of these pundits were saying he weren't good enough,
Mm-hmm.
and the same ones now are saying, "Oh, he's a Rolls Royce of a player" and all that. And I find that quite insulting because we've been telling everyone. I mean, I've got some Crystal Palace fan at the minute telling me, you know, on the Twitter. He's good this season. He's improved loads from. No, he hasn't. He hasn't improved loads. He's improved. He's improved every season, but he hasn't improved loads. He's always been that good. See that, Dan? No, thanks for coming, mate. Must have been his round.
The thing is, you bang on both of you is what you're saying about Declan Rice, and the pundits this week have come out. I mean, I've heard one pundit is Jason Cundy, who said the other day that Declan Rice is good enough to play for any of the top teams in the Premier League, and I sort of said that last week as well, and I totally agree. I think Declan Rice can fit into any team in the Premier League, even Man City.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can just slot in, and he's not your natural defensive midfielder, is he? He's not someone that just sits. He likes to get forward as well, and that's what he's added to his game, you know. And when Chelsea were rumoured to be linked with him to bring him in as a centre back, I mean, what a waste of a career that would have been playing at centre back for Declan Rice, because look, if West Ham needed him to play centre back, he'll play centre back. Got no doubts about that. But I think he is probably one of the best academy products we've produced for a very long time. A very long time.
I'll go one further and say potentially he's probably the best academy prospect that we've had since probably more. The way he's coming through. If he keeps progressing the way he's progressing. And the thing is, you say, you know, he's brought that other side of his game since Souček has come in, and, you know, he looks much more comfortable. Watching him for England the other night in both games is that he's just playing that holding midfield role. And you just watch him, his movement, his reading of the game, the fact that he drops into the centre-half position when the centre-half goes further forward. He has matured so much over the last season and a half that, you know, he's making that position his own for England. There isn't another player, an English player who can play that holding midfield role the way he plays it, and no one is better than him playing it now. You know, I agree. I think he's the best holding midfielder in the Premier League, and he's definitely within the top 5 of the world at the moment, and he's only 22.
And this is the thing as well. I mean, the title is and you said it. Can we keep hold of Declan Rice? Because I can imagine that there's so many clubs that are looking at him at the moment. But I look at it as he's 22. He's a captain of West Ham. He's a regular for England now. I think there's rumours that he's going to be vice captain for England as well in the Euros. He's got the world at his feet. Why would he want to move now when he could stay at West Ham for another 3, 4, even 5 years if we get that much out of him, and he can go down as a legend, a great for West Ham.
Yeah, and then obviously if we're not where he wants to be at that point, then he can get the big move and win the trophies. Like I say, he don't need to move right now. His career is still developing at West Ham, and like I said, I can't see anyone matching our valuation this summer for Declan Rice. Imagine what we would be willing to take to let go of him. You know what I mean? There was this £60 million like absolute nonsense that I think Troy Deeney or someone
they pluck these figures out of the air. They pluck them out of the air. How can you look at Harry Maguire, who went for £80 million, and then pick that figure out of the air for Declan Rice, who is I'm not joking, 10 times the player that Maguire has ever been. Like, Maguire's a good player, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but is he £80 million worth? No, he's nowhere near. He's probably half of that at the time when he moved. But you have to say, if that's the benchmark, that's the benchmark. You can't all of a sudden, he's worth 60 million. He's not. He's worth whatever someone's willing to pay for him. And if West Ham are smart, they, you know, look, let's not be skeptics here. The title is, can we keep hold of him? unless we win a trophy within the next 3 or 4 years. No, we can't. He's going to leave at some point because he's going to go to the.
What would you say, mate, is the minimum you take for him now? 90?
It's not
minimum.
No. I would go 120. It's
that's the minimum. That's the starting point.
That's the starting point. I would honestly, if Maguire's £80 million, like he's got everything. He's got the age, the fact that he plays for England. That puts premiums on players. He's got a long-term contract. He's pivotal to our team. If someone wants him, if Man City wants him, if Chelsea want him, if Manchester United want him, then you've got to say, if you want him, pay for him. You know, there's no getting out cheap here.
There's no replacing. It's very hard for us to replace him.
There's no replacing him. We wouldn't be able to replace him.
Yeah, you can't replace someone like Declan Rice. No way. Not at the moment.
Am I saying he's worth 120 million? No, I don't think any player in the world is worth 120 million, apart from, the top class centre forwards. But that's what he's worth to us. That's the compensation that we would need to sell him, because we can't replace him. It's impossible. You'd have to spend probably fucking twice that amount if you was ever going to replace him. So
yeah,
that's what
we struggle to replace. We've always struggled to replace good players when we've sold them, and I think with Declan Rice, I don't think we could replace him. As I said at the beginning, I know we said about he could probably play for any of the top four. I'll be honest, mate. I think he could go to Barcelona and play. I think he can go to Real Madrid and play. I honestly do. I think the role that he plays and what he does. I mean, 3 England games in the week. He got man of the match twice. Jesse Lingard got the other one. So West Ham dominated this week. Happy days. But no, on a serious note, I think I watched. I watch Declan Rice week in, week out for West Ham. But I like to see him play for England because he's around different players that he don't play with week in, week out. And the way he just adapts to who's around him and the confidence that the players have. And even the commentators are starting to pick up on him now where they never used to. So what's going on the bottom row? Do they just go out and go for a cheeky little
maybe
pint?
The internet's better at the top. Maybe we need to switch.
Oh, fucking
no, you are right, mate. And that's what I was saying. Watching him play for England, where he's just there for that holding role and nothing else. He's just oozing class. You just sit there and watch it, and there was no doubt in the 2 games that he played who was the best player on that pitch on that day, and it was him. But by far it was him. There's nobody else who stepped up the way he stepped up in them 2 games. And for me, we've said this before. We want to keep him. We need to match his ambition. This season he's going a long way towards trying to match his ambition, because he's got ambition to play at the top level in everything he does. That's why you start out as a footballer. But I've said this before, he seems the type of player who's going to show a bit of loyalty to the team that's put him where he is, the team that's put him in that limelight, the team that's put him in this international team. Because Chelsea, he was discarded. They didn't want him. For me, they're not even in the conversation in having him back, because I think there's only one team out there that's going to be able to afford him, and that'd be Manchester City. They're the only people that actually worry me, because they are crying out for another holding midfielder. But
the thing is as well, Scott. I mean, West Ham this summer, it's a massive summer for the club, because wherever we finish now, these last 9 games are massive for not only where we go as a club, but who we keep hold of, because we've got the potential of signing Jesse Lingard in the summer, which I think David Moyes come out and said it's his priority to get him, and the board are going to back him, which is good to hear. And Jesse Lingard wants to join. West Ham need to offer Declan Rice a new deal. They need to tie him down, give him a 5-year deal, make him one of the highest earner, if not the biggest earner at the football club, because he deserves it. And as I said last week, we used to give Pyatt a new contract every week because he used to do 2 or 3 cups in a row. Fucking reward Declan Rice. He's worked his ass from youth. What you got to remember now is he got dumped by Chelsea at 16. Now that could have mentally affected him. He could have gone down a totally different route. He could be working some, not even a football player now, but now he's a captain of a Premier League club, an England national. And don't forget as well, he started off with the Republic of Ireland, and he's had to make that choice, and it was a tough choice, but he handled that well. You know,
yeah,
so
I think he was sort of pushed into taking that Republic of Ireland call up. I don't think that this was necessarily his choice or his vision at the start. I think people around him, like his dad, his agent, and that probably, I think, advised him to do that. And then, so that's why I think a lot of people give him stick for that. But yeah, you know what? I absolutely guarantee Declan Rice will be a West Ham player next season. I guarantee.
Yeah,
I promise. Hold me to it. He's staying. He's definitely, whether he goes, whatever happens next season or the season after, we'll see from that. But I know for a fact he's going to be West Ham next season. For sure.
And that's it. Look, he's happy. You see, he's happy. To me, he seems someone who's playing the game because he wants to play the game. You know, he's not. Doesn't strike me as a young lad who's in it just for the money. He's in it because he loves football. He loves playing football. And I seeing in the comments there someone saying about Chelsea because of the coaches and all that, and his best mate plays for him. But listen, at the end of the day, if you're enjoying something and that club's the right fit for you, and the other thing as well for me, he's got people like Mark Noble. Noble advising him, showing him the leadership that Noble had for this side for the length of time he's had it. Noble's been there from a kid, come all the way through. And sometimes it's not always about getting the top jobs. We've said before, we've seen young players go for these big money transfers and be happy to sit on the bench. I can't see it.
He has more friends here than he has at Chelsea. Yeah, Mason Mount is one of his best friends, but Ryan Fredericks is also one of his best mates. And if we get Lingard and all the other players, that like the Ben Johnsons and the other players that he's come up with, he's so settled and comfortable. The only reason for him to leave is more money and chance of winning something. And again, he's got all the time in the world to win something. You look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane probably should have left Tottenham like a couple of seasons ago, but he's looking like he might not even leave. He might be stuck there. And
the thing is with Declan Rice as well is that why I think he hasn't kicked up a fuss about wages is because he knows the wages are there in the future. He knows he's just got to start. He's got over 100 appearances for West Ham already. He's a captain of a Premier League football team, and he's only 22. And he's not missed. I can't remember the last time he missed a game. I can't remember. He's probably the first game on the team sheet.
What was that, Nick? Did you say something?
There are negatives in the club. Can you hear me? I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I can hear you, yeah. There are negatives in the club, you said, and then you stopped. Left us in suspense. All right. We'll never know what those negatives are, but they're negatives.
We might find out the negatives when Nicky comes back.
Yeah. But let's think about the positives. We're keeping Declan Rice.
Yeah,
Rice
I think
is ours forever, Kane says.
Yeah, Kane says
cheers,
Rice
Kane.
Rice is ours forever.
Yeah.
I wish. I really do.
But yeah, like I said, it's you just never know where the club's going to go. Like I said, we are making progress, and next season is huge to see that if we can sustain, maybe not be in the top 4 race, but at least next season be in the Europa League race. At least if we can't still be here, I think that's still progress. And if he's in a relegation, if we're in a relegation battle next season, I think he's gone. Because he does not want to be in relegation battles season after season.
Have you seen the Noble interview?
I saw like a couple of seconds of it, but I didn't think that I love Noble. I didn't think that he would be able to say anything, different. It was nice, some of the things that he was saying about how much he loves the club and he's happy not playing in that. So I felt like I got the gist of it, so I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, no, he was just basically saying, like, when asked about the way the club's going in this season. The other week when I was saying I think Champions League would be a step too far for us and stuff like that. Noble sort of was saying a similar thing in the sense of you need consistent top 8 finishes. You want to build something, you want to be progressing forward, and then being consistently in that top 8, then pushes you on furthermore to compete in Europe. And we need to finish in Europe this season. to keep the likes of Jesse Lingard, which will go a long way to keeping Declan Rice happy at the club. You know, as much as we can give him as much money as he likes and stuff like that, when the big clubs do come sniffing, it's hard to turn them down because that Champions League draw. Because it's not about just playing in the Champions League. You have Tottenham come knocking, he ain't going there. But it's that draw of going into a top competition like the Champions League and having an opportunity to compete to get to the final to try and actually have a good chance of winning the trophy. And that's going to be the toughest thing is if one of them sides come knocking with a valuation that will suit all parties, that's when it gets tough. You know, and that's why for me in this summer we need to finish within that Europa League, even if it's in the Europa Conference. We need to be there, looking to improve, have a good summer transfer window and a good start to next season. And then I think
Declan Rice will sort of look at the summer and see what we do transfer wise. I think Declan Rice is he'll be happy to stay at West Ham another year. You know, as I said, he's got the world at his feet at West Ham. He's loved. You know, he's a starter. He's a captain. But Roy May Jr. has donated $10. He said that's for me, so I'll make sure that I'll get an extra $10 in the wages when we get it split up. But he said go and get an hard out for all the. I thought he was going to say go and get an hard out for the calendar he wants me to do. I thought no, that's a bit. I'll give that one a miss, but yeah,
right. Someone else said that you're putting us all to shame with that background. Listen, Nicky's got the toy trucks there. He's got the race cars.
Listen, the thing is as well is that I've since day one when we've started this channel, I've had to film in the loft in my mum's house. I've had to film in my last flat. I had to film in a dining room, so I had to keep taking lights and all that. So when I was moving, I made sure that I wanted somewhere that that I could film just for me. And I ain't got to keep taking lights down and all that. So that's nice. And it gives me opportunities now to jump on and do a lot more videos for this channel, as we will talk about a little bit later in the channel update.
I might put some West Ham stickers on the curtains or something. Try and keep up right.
Huh?
Nothing. I say, who's Rachel?
Yeah, who is Rachel? But I think I've probably got Rachel here somewhere. I've got me Pat. Me Pat's here, look.
I must admit, I'm so shocked with the way it's come out. It looks brilliant.
Well, do you know what? Yeah, it's just some like memorabilia that I've collected, and I've got obviously Julian Dix there, my hero, the Canio there, Noble, picture of Noble and Bobby.
Nice paint job as well. Nice paint job there.
Yeah, I've done the painting myself. And then that's my wife bought me that for Christmas. That's my Hammers 11 that I've done. So that's my favourite team, and that's me 1980. FA Cup final sign thing with the original programme and poster. So and the ticket, not poster, ticket. Yeah, it's it is what it is. It's nice.
He ain't even put the big boy up in there, the Bobby Moore.
No, do you know what? I think something like the Bobby Moore deserves to be in the main house when the guests come round.
Nick, you need to kick your son out of the bedroom and make him sleep on the settee and turn yours.
Listen, all of them things that Ryan described there, the fucking putting lights up, filming in the loft, filming wherever you can, mate. I've done all of that.
Mate, I remember filming in my mum's loft.
No, in fact, I still do all of that.
I remember filming in my mum's loft, and I had to balance my phone camera on DVDs with blue tack on the back of it, and the amount of times I'll be filming it to fall off. It is what it is, and it's nice, and you know, it gives me opportunities now to just do a lot more filming and get involved more in the channel. Anyway, Declan Rice.
Yeah. Let's talk about. Let's take some comments from the guys about Declan Rice. I've just come back in. It keeps on fucking poking me in. My internet has been absolutely fucking awful today. Honestly. All these
mine was bad earlier.
All the internet.
Yeah, mine was pretty bad earlier. It kept going down, but it's all right.
I'm getting new internet soon, so fuck you all.
You're always getting new internet. Every week you get a new internet, did you?
No, this is new internet. This is brilliant.
New internet. The new
internet. There's no better player who plays his role out, so that I wouldn't sell him, says Robert Finesse. Danny Puttock says, loving the new office, Pat.
Oh, fucking old Putsy. He's my old mate in work. He's a Chelsea fan. Proper wanker. Nah, he's
You know what? We might as well just do that, innit? We might as well all just do that. We can have Ryan all big and our shitty background small.
Yeah.
Just focus.
I can't help it. I can always go back out in the kitchen if you want.
Danny Taylor says triple his money and give him a new 5-year contract. Put 200 mil price tag on his head. Make him unsellable. If he goes, we go back to relegation battles. Stefan Yeatman says, unless our owners changes, you may well as say bye to Rice. Leanne Tulsi says he's got to go to he's going to go to Chelsea. They don't have managers, just head coaches. The targets will still be there under Tuchel. Sawtooth Fred says not a priority for Chelsea that they want a striker. Listen, people talk about Chelsea.
I was just about to say that as you said that, mate. That Chelsea, City, and all them they're looking at Haaland, so they're going to be spending a lot of money on Haaland if they want him.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen like Haaland. These teams are in for Mbappe, Sancho. Like a lot of them are going to be spending big money looking to try and bring these.
Well, I said they're gonna look to spend big because if UEFA bring in what they want to bring in, they're not going to be able to sign from each other after I think this season or next season.
Is it?
Mark, right with Chelsea, they want a striker. Mark Sherman says, I think that's one that Noble will sign for another season to keep Rice. Does Rice deserve 100k plus? Opinions?
Nick, can I just ask while you're back, what were the negatives?
Oh, yeah.
You know what it's like? The end of an EastEnders episode.
Oh, the negatives from the club.
Dun, 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 and he was off.
No, there are negatives. I'll tell you one of the negatives from the club in the last few years with Declan Rice is that the club decided to tell everyone and their mother what the fuck he was earning to try and force him to try and shame him into signing a contract. And I'm sure them things don't go sort of unnoticed and they don't, they do forget them things. You know what I mean? It's about time the fucking look. The owners, to be fair, the owners have not done a lot over the last year or so. You know what I mean? They've pretty much shut their mouth. No one's been at the football. I'm not saying we've ever forgot about them and all of that sort of thing. But you get Wally's still pumping out their shit. But like by and large, over the last year, there's been nothing quite there. Nothing quite as controversial as that. But that's the thing about people like Declan Rice. You know what I mean? Like they will remember that down the line. You know what I mean? And that's just, that it would be a shame. But who knows? Who knows what's in the pipeline, mate? Because I know that it's come out to be bullshit. And more people. But I think there's something going on in the background. I think the club's for sale. I believe.
Well, apparently, X said that there is this American consortium that are preparing a bid for the club.
I do, yeah. We definitely know that the club is up for sale. It's whether they can meet the owner's valuation of the club. I mean, it's ridiculous what they want for the club, if I'm honest. They're looking at around 750 million, which they're not going to get that for West Ham. No disrespect. If it come with a stadium and the land, then yeah, you can probably understand that, but it doesn't. So, look, I see you tweet out, Dan, that you wouldn't be happy with an American consortium to take over. I mean, you've been GSB out for the last 2 years, and now you're like... because...
Do you know what it was? Is I was saying, basically, I wouldn't want to... I would rather... probably maybe suffer them a little bit longer than just take the first consortium that comes along. Like I wouldn't want to be in a situation where we finally get rid of GSB and then we get another GSB, an American GSB.
We get USA.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not saying just because they're American, but the thing is about Americans is a lot of these American owners don't have that invested interest in football that grew up with that passion like the owners. I know obviously a lot of our American fans are, but I'm saying you get these billionaires, even the ones that have, even FSG.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'll be honest with you, and I'll be quite honest, right? They might not know how to run football clubs. They might not have the clubs that are, but I'd rather be have somebody in place that can market the club properly, that can that can make investments into the side to make their side more profitable and their side more, you know, even if it is for them, their side more marketable and all of that sort of thing, then two geezers that think running a football club is like running a fucking stall down the market, and they can go and barter fucking down for anything and get things for nothing. I'd rather have a proper you know, let's how am I trying to say? I'd rather have someone that's going to be business wise and say it to our face and say, look, this is the way we want to run the football club. What's best for business? Then have two shysters that lie about it and you know do that anyway and fucking and try and lie to your face. Do you know what I mean?
What you're saying is American owners come in and do what other American owners have done when they've took over football clubs in the past and just passed on all their debt from what they own in America and then took money out of the club. But because they're telling us they're taking money out of the club, that's fine. But it's not fine because GSB lie about it. Is that what you? But that's what you're saying.
But Dan, what would you do if they brought WrestleMania to London Stadium every summer?
If they what?
If they brought WrestleMania to the London Stadium.
Oh yeah, you just go. That's right. We'll be in the championship, but we've got WrestleMania. But no, do you know what it is as well? Like, because I'm not saying that they wouldn't maybe be a slight upgrade on the owners, like from an organizational standpoint, but I don't think that their heart would be like the passion would be in it. Like you see with look at the Glaziers and the Cronkies, they just take. FSG have overseen obviously this period of time where Liverpool have been successful, but we're not Liverpool. You can't just take over a West Ham and like push us up the table. It's going to need like serious investment if we're going to progress into getting to them European places, and patience and consistency. Like look at, I'm not saying they have to like be like Roman Abramovich, but Roman Abramovich is someone that came in and because he loves football and he wanted that to have a top team in the Premier League. He cared about that. That was something that was interesting because he loved football. Same with even the Saudis who own Man City. Like, you know, obviously he's super rich, but he's not just super rich. He loves the game. And he wanted to invest to take Man City up there. And a lot of these American owners don't necessarily, they have that, as you see with some of the other clubs.
I agree with sort of what you're saying now. But you never know. You could get like an American investment come in and they might employ people that know the football club to help run the football club. That'll be the main ambition. That'll be what they mainly should be looking at doing.
If some of our American subscribers were billionaires, like someone like Roy and subscribers like that, I would have no worry because I know
we could go down the Canadian route and get Peaches, the chairman. Oh, Peaches in the house. I'd love him.
That's the thing for me. Is like what Nicky was saying about taking the money out. You know, it's not. He said you've seen it with other clubs. Look, Man United, you know, and stuff like that when they got taken over by the Glaziers and things like that. It's the debt from their American football franchise got moved to United. You know, it was all offset on United. And all right, yeah, they've still been successful in a way. Not as successful they was under Fergie, but they've still had some success. And all right, it'll bring success, but I don't agree with selling. You know, to get rid of GSB who are a pain in our side, to get in somebody else who's still going to take money out of the club. You know, you want an investor who's like you said, you know, is football minded, who wants, you want the business aspect of what you see these other American companies coming in, that business aspect of the branding and the selling rights and the naming rights and, you know, pushing the club profile worldwide even more. But I don't want a company sucking the life out of the finances of the club.
Yeah, because football's not a big deal over there, so they don't get to have the bragging rights or the stature with all of their fellow businessmen of saying, "Oh, look, my team, my soccer team is, you know, in the Champions League." They're like, "What?" You know, I would feel a bit better if they was American, but maybe they didn't own a team in America, you know, because like I said, they have their American football teams, they have their NBA teams. And then their teams over here are like, you know, but all come under lower than nose in priority. If maybe like we was their only sports franchise, as they call it, maybe that's a bit better because that's the only thing they're focusing on. But what a lot of them do is they just focus on these other teams. Fulham's owners as well, the Khans, who have their the son, Tony Khan, he's technically an American, and they have their franchises in America, and he has his wrestling and all of that, and Fulham always comes last. And I don't want a situation where we just become last and we're the afterthought. I want them to be all about West Ham. Like that is it. All their energy is going into West Ham and taking us to where we want to be. And Donald Trump could be the answer. No, I'm joking. Adam Levitt says £5. Cheers, Adam. Do you
sell Donald Trump wigs in the club shop?
Oh, God. Do you know what? We've just imagined that, just the controversy and everything from that. We've had it with Gold and Southern, and Donald Trump. Just the oh my God, the headlines.
Man, listen, as much as whatever you think about him as a person or as the president, the guy's a businessman. He knows how to run a business, and
I don't know. He's been bankrupt a few times. And it helps having a rich daddy. But
of course it does. But that's the thing, is we've got to be very, very careful. As we said before, with Gold and Sullivan, it's that old terminology, isn't it? The better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And we saw what they did with Birmingham, where they just sold it to the first person that met their valuation of the club, and then everything went downhill. He ended up getting banged up in prison and whatnot. That's the thing for me. It's got to be the right.
The thing is, if you was a businessman selling a business and you had a price, I don't think you really care who you sell it to if they match your price. But
unless you're a West Ham fan,
if they're West Ham fans, as they say, then they should be looking to sell it to someone that's got the right ambitions to take the club forward. And because looking at it from Gold and Sullivan's point of view, have they left the club in a better position than they picked it up? They could turn around and say, yes. We might, as fans, might not think they have, but they will probably say, yeah, because the club's worth a lot more. They've got a 60,000 seater stadium, whatever you think of the stadium. But you just hope that the people they do sell them to, as you both said, have got the ambitions. They've got to love football, and they've got to have the ambitions to want to take West Ham to the next level, not just buy the club and use it as so when they go to their little meetings in America, they can say, "I own a Premier League football team." It's not like, what's the word? It's not like it's not showing off saying I own a Premier League football team. They want to actually do something, just like the owners of Man City done, and just like the owners of Leicester City done. They come in their ambitions, they match them, and look, Leicester within, I think it was 7 years, they won League One, the Championship, and the Premier League within 7 seasons.
Didn't Aston Villa have American owners, didn't they? And they took them down. I think now they got the Chinese owners.
It was Randy Lerner, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they've put loads of money. I mean, I don't know if Matt's on a wind up or it's just a joke, but he says James Corden heading up the consortium.
I think he's on a bit of a wind up.
Because I thought if that was true, at least he's a West Ham fan. But
if James Corden was, I'd love to see him doing the interviews like Smithy from Gavin and Stacey.
See, the thing is, I like that James Corden is a fan, and I think the stuff he's in America is all good. But I've never been a fan of him. Just like the sketch show he done with the other guy from Gavin and Stacey. Never been a Gavin Stacey fan, but he's a West Ham fan. Someone asked, that's it. I wanted to see, would you take Red Bull? They would push advertising. Yeah, like look, if they wanted to name it the Red Bull Stadium. And all of this stuff, they're going to change their name. I always say it wouldn't happen. It would not be allowed to happen. They tried to change Hull to Hull City Tigers, got blocked. Didn't happen. It would literally be, we'd have Red Bull on our shirts. We'd have the stadium would probably be called Red Bull, and they'd invest. I'd say.
The thing is, Dan, with Red Bull gives you wins.
That's it. That's what we want. That's
the poster.
Is Moyes putting that? Is there a bit of traction behind the Red Bull story? And is Moyes putting himself in that window for if Red Bull come in saying, "Oh yeah, I want to look at the Leipzig model." Do you know what I mean? Sort of, he's picking up things behind the scenes. Is there traction in that Red Bull? As I said, I'm with you, Dan. Look, if Red Bull come in and wanted to buy the club and they've got the money, they've done well at Leipzig. All right, they changed the name slightly, but you can't do that in the Premier League. You couldn't do that, and it wouldn't I don't think any West Ham fan, no matter how much money they've got, would sit well with a company coming in and changing the name of the football club.
The Premier League would block it though. They simply wouldn't allow it. So even if
I'm not being rude. Nicky's just messaged me saying he's just resetting his router. He's having problems. So I'm not listening to you, just texting someone. But
yeah, I mean,
well, could you have a company come in and change the name of the club?
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't.
I don't think anyone would come in and because they know there'll be a lot of backlash from the fans if they done that. If they come in and called us fucking
West Ham United London,
or West Ham, or Red Bulls United London West Ham. I don't know, saying stupid like that, but.
The thing is, even if they called us West Ham Red Bull or some shit, no one would even call us West Ham Red. We'd all be calling it West Ham, and it'd be like the West Ham London thing. But like I said, it'd be blocked out. Of course, we wouldn't want it. But
the other thing as well is you take away. We've got to remember we got history. We haven't got as much history as teams like Liverpool and Man United and stuff like that in winning trophies and stuff like that. But this club has got history. And the history that this club's got is known worldwide. People around the world know the likes of Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, and players like that. So there's a lot of potential in our club internationally to grow the brand. Who was that golf player that won that major last week, and he supports West Ham because he watched Green Street all them years ago.
A lot of fans have. A lot of fans.
You look at someone coming in to buy us. We've got a bit of a head start over the likes of Manchester City. Manchester City. How many people around the world would have known Man City before they got bought by the Arabs? Not many. But as I said, wherever I've been around the world, you see a West Ham shirt, you see a Liverpool shirt, you see a Man United shirt. I've never been to another country. Sorry, Scott. Go on. No, mate, I've never been to another country and seen a Man City shirt hanging up.
We're
only since they've been taken over.
I think we're much more widely supported. Yeah, I agree, Scott. You know what the thing is as well about the consortium? I think one good thing about the consortium making a move is I think it would spur on other potential owners to then go and make bids. Like if they're making a bid, then other people will go, oh, shit, no, I want West Ham. Like, no, let's go and make our bid. And it might create a little bit of a whereas a lot of people are probably feeling like, oh, they ain't selling.
Here's a good question then. Essex Hammer, would you accept a name change if you were guaranteed the Premier League title? No. Yeah, of course.
What's the name change? What about West Ham United's? We've just put an S on it.
What about West Ham United champions?
Yeah, like, or even would you ever take like if they said, look, we don't like United, we want FC, we want to be West, no, we want to change it into West Ham FC.
No.
What about if they changed us to FC West Ham United?
No.
What, for a Premier League title, Nick?
No, I don't care. I would never take it.
Even when I turn around and see you smiling when we're lifting that Premier League title?
I would never take a name change. I didn't support West Ham. If I wanted to get Premier League titles, I would have gone and supported Liverpool or Man United or someone like that when I was growing up.
What about this one then? What if they changed us back to Thames Ironworks?
No, not even then.
What about if they changed us Green Street Elite? GSE?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
It's
the West Ham Whammers or something like that.
Do you know what annoys me though? Is like, obviously we are West Ham United, but you still get like West Ham fans that call Manchester United, even though we are also United. I'll never ever call them United and we go, oh, United.
If I must admit, if people say United, I automatically think of Man United because it's just growing up in the 90s watching football. They was known as United, and their fans used to go United.
Yeah, but we do that at the end of Bubbles. When they sing Bubbles, we go United at the end of Bubbles. So are we cheering for Man United at the end of our own song, or are we also United.
I think every team that has United in the name would refer themselves as United. But like Ryan said, it's just the fact that era in the 90s when United were dominating everything, you start calling them United.
We should fight back against that. We should reclaim our own United.
We need to start winning things then.
No, why? Like, listen, I think it's when people just call United.
Yeah,
we're West Ham United.
Let's have a look. We've got a few names coming here. Someone's put Thames Ironworks FC. That's already gone. That's already taken that one. What about the Mighty Ducks?
I think that's taken.
What about Canning Town Ham?
Yeah, anything. There's a few Canning Town. There's a Canning Town FC in there. No,
yeah,
I blocked
there's already
that.
a Canning Town.
What about the old Westfield Wonder? I'll tell you what, we've done a lot of wandering around Westfield.
What about Brady Bunch FC?
Yeah, the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, we call us the Brady Bunch. So that would go down well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Nicky's just views. Shall we put Checkham United? If we get a few more
Canning Town Haller. Oh,
Nick will love a bit of that. It combines his two favourite things, Canning Town and Allaire. Allaire was born in Canning Town, you know, Nick. Canning Town boy.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you what, I finally got around to watching. I mean, you probably ain't watched it, but I watched the Frank Bruno Mike Tyson documentary the other day, and it showed a lot of obviously Frank Bruno because he used to train in the Royal Oak in Canning Town. And,
man, I used to see him up there.
It was mad. Like, it was mad seeing him come out and walk across the Barking Road, and you see the old Rathbone Market. But I remember as a kid, I always used to run in the Royal Oak, and I used to sound like Little Oliver. I used to go, "Is Frank Bruno in today?" and the landlord used to go, "No, he's not in." And I'll never forget that. It's great memories. It was great documentary as well.
I remember I used to see him there all the time. I remember when I was little.
I used to see him jogging up and down the Barking Road, and I used to love Frank Bruno as a kid. Like,
but when I was little, I remember I was on my dad's shoulders, and he'd come out the Royal Oak, and he'd got a bit of attention. I think it was, the time when he started to, get a big name for himself in boxing. Maybe he'd won the belt by then. I don't know, but he took me off of my dad's shoulders, and was like, as people were like thingy, and imagine him putting me on his shoulders now. But no, he took me off my dad's shoulders and put me on his shoulders, and he was talking to everyone there. But it's great. It is great. I haven't seen the documentary, but I always remember.
I'll tell you what, even if you're not a big boxing fan, you got to watch it. And the mad thing is as well, I never realised that Mike Tyson actually come over and he went in the Royal Oak and they showed him in there with Frank Bruno. And it was crazy to think that like Mike Tyson was there. And I love Tyson as much as I love Bruno. But yeah, it was a great documentary, and I recommend
You're talking about, that's what's crazy. You're talking about the biggest fighter in the world at the time. He was you're talking about the likes of Joshua and Floyd Mayweather and all of that sort of thing in modern days, mate. Big Mike Tyson in the day, in the 80s and the early 90s, mate. No one was as big as Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was the biggest.
I think the sad thing about the documentary is that Bruno could never let go that he couldn't beat Tyson. He just always, even to this day, because they meet up with each other at the end of the documentary, and it's a really good watch. And because I've got the Jack Charlton one to watch as well, which I've heard is unbelievable and very emotional, and I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, I think so. He tells us I watched Bruno training in the Royal Oak with Terry Lawless, no relation. I believe he's my granddad's cousin. He was my granddad's cousin or something like that. I know he's a relation because on that side, like boxing was all in the family. My granddad used to box and all of that. It's big in the family, so I believe. My grand used to tell me, yeah, he's a relation, but I never met him.
But there's quite a few big famous people come to Canning Town because the Peacock Gym's in Canning Town. The Peacock Gym, in the world of boxing, it's one of the the big gyms in the world. It is gone now, yeah. But it was one of the biggest gyms in the world. Yeah, they used to have. The world's best going in there to train every now and then. I remember going in there and seeing like Prince Nassim going in there and training. I remember going in there and seeing Butterbean all the wrestlers and all of that used to come over and they used to visit the gym. You know, everybody.
I remember the day when Floyd Mayweather turned up there, and it was like fucking unreal. I remember all the people over Silvertown Flyover trying to get in and look in. But the other thing as well is that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to live in just in
Forest
Silvertown,
Gate.
didn't he? Yeah, in Silvertown.
Forest Gate.
Wag
He
Bennett.
might have lived in Silvertown, but I'll tell you what happened. This is true story. This, and Dan might not know this, but this is Wag Bennett used to own a lot of stuff up and down the Barking Road. He used to mainly he was well known for being a weightlifting trainer, but he used to own things like bike shops. There was a bike shop. You remember, Ryan? Just on the Silvertown Way was Wag Bennett's bike shop. We used to go there to get our puncture repair kits and that. And when he lived with Wag Bennett because Wag Bennett used to give these sort of foreign students of bodybuilding a place to live in that, and he lived there for a couple of years before he went on to obviously he went on to be Mr. Universe and all of that sort of thing. But when he bought, I think he went to Wag Bennett's funeral. To be honest,
He didn't go to his funeral. He sent.
He done a eulogy or something, didn't he?
Yeah, because he was obviously the governor of California.
He was the governor of California, and but when he bought Planet Hollywood, he bought Planet Hollywood with Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone, and when they was trying to get that sort of franchise going, the first one was in London. He actually took Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis into a cafe underneath where he used to live, and they were sitting in a greasy spoon having a cup of tea and waiting to meet Wag Bennett. Can you imagine, right, walking into a greasy spoon cafe in the early 90s when their fame was, and going home and saying to your wife, guess what I see in fucking Oliver's cafe? Who? In the Titanic, having a bacon sandwich. Who? Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who would ever believe you? Who would ever believe you?
Yeah, well, Billy Mitchell in my local Robbins in East Ham when back in the day. So top that.
I can't.
Can't top that. Can't top Billy Mitchell and Minty.
Scotty, take some comments, mate.
Oh, you always do this to me, man.
No Canning. We've had our fill of Canning Town today. We've had our Canning Town section.
I'm gonna. Do you know what? I've saved a spot just there. I'm gonna get a nice Canning Town train station sign just for you.
I'm gonna have to find a way to.
I'm actually gonna put your face in the middle of it as well.
Dan, I think someone's with you here, mate. Look, Jane Lane says.
Jane's like, yeah.
It's a good name, isn't it? Jane Lane.
It's Jane.
It just flows, doesn't it?
I like that.
Jane Lane.
Well, Jane, you're always
an actor, an actress, didn't it? Jane Lane.
To be fair, mate, Jane, if you're not sort of into the conversation, you're always welcome to fuck off.
Oh, that's not nice.
That's not nice.
Well, you are. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, there's nothing keeping you here. If you don't like it, you can always fuck off.
No, listen, Will Bex, I was right. They did Billy Mitchell. They had a few in there in Robbins in East Ham. Anyone else who used to go eating Robbins in East Ham, they had all the pictures up.
Billy Mitchell
signed.
Billy Mitchell
Bob Hoskins. Yeah, he was. Bob Hoskins as well.
Why did your voice go high, Scott? You went, Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell.
I didn't hear it.
Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell.
Bigger boys.
La 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 la. Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell.
Yes.
Kane Legg says Nicky can smash KSI in a boxing match easily. I bet I couldn't.
Well, I'll tell you something now. 6 months ago, you could have smashed the KFC. You know what? I see KSI on the Great British Bake Off the other night. He's doing well for himself, isn't he?
He's on everything, mate.
He's getting more.
Yeah, good boy.
He done a song with Anne Marie, didn't he?
Don't know who the fuck Anne Marie is, but probably.
Yeah, no, he's doing well for himself. Good luck to him.
Absolutely.
I think Bazinga's doing the Bazinga Tower meal at KFC.
I'll take that on.
I don't know why this Will Bex finds it so unbelievable that Billy Mitchell was in a thing in Pie Mash in East Ham, but Frank Bruno, Bruce Willis, and Sylvester Stallone was all chilling in Canning Town.
They wasn't in Kenny Towns, Forest
completely
Gate.
fine. But
Forest Gate, though.
Forest Gate. But Billy Mitchell, the superstar.
Anyway, should we get back to some West Ham stuff?
Yeah, let's get back to that.
He's
a YouTube guy.
Yeah. You know what, though? As much as I've enjoyed the international break, I love it that the Premier League's back. The only thing that's really bugged me about this is that we're 8:15 on a Monday night. You know,
we've had a lot of these, isn't he? These night games this season.
But I'm looking forward to it. I see David Moyes had his press conference earlier, and he said that Ogbonna, Yarmolenko, and Masuaku are still not available, which is a bit of a blow, really. But I'd rather not risk them straight away. So it's going to be a tough game up at Wolves.
You've come at the right time, Stu. He wrote that just after Ryan started previewing the Wolves game.
Yeah, sorry. I think we've done, but I think we're talking because there's not really much West Ham news to talk about, is there? Really, this week it's been a bit quiet, but yeah, I mean, it's back to Premier League football, and it's a massive chance for us to keep within touching distance of the top four going into the final 9 games of the season.
This bit here, this is the last. This is the final hurdle. We're 5th. I keep on looking at Premier League table. I still can't fucking believe it. But we're 5th in the table, and we're going into the games now. Wolves is a big game. It's a big game. If we can get the win there, and keep ourselves within the.
I think, mate, it's 9 FA Cup finals, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is. But we've also got Chelsea. We've also got Leicester. We've also got someone else, Everton. We've got the teams around us. But apart from them, we play teams in the bottom half of the table.
Well, let me read you out our last. So we've got Wolves, then we play Leicester at home, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Burnley away, Everton at home, Brighton away, West Brom away, Southampton at home. So really, you're looking at Chelsea, Leicester, big games, and Everton.
They're all big games.
No, they're all big games. I'm saying that they're the games that we have to win to keep into that top 4. We have to beat them teams around us.
Yeah, the problem is them games against the weaker sides. You know, against so-called weaker sides. Sorry, not disrespecting, but on league position, they're the ones that are going to be tricky for us. You know, because we've been in situations before when we've been fighting for our lives, and we've took scalps of higher up teams pushing for Europe. So they're going to be tricky. I think
we ain't really done that this season, Scott.
Yeah, thing is though, Scott. Apart from Chelsea, we beat every single one of them teams.
Yeah, of course. That's it. This is the different West Ham that we're seeing this year. Is that we're beating the teams who realistically on paper we should be beating. And we're coming unstuck against the top sides. I think, defeat to Wolves, defeat to Leicester, it changes the whole dynamic of the season. We then start having to win games. At the moment, the games against Chelsea, the games against Leicester, if you get something out of it, it's bonuses as long as you're beating the teams that are in that lower echelon.
Yeah. It's how much we was affected by the Arsenal game, because that can take a lot out of you. Maybe the international break come at a great time for West Ham, because I think if we'd have played that Wolves game straight after that Arsenal game, it might have been sort of different. But no, look, I'm confident. Well, I mean, we've always struggled against Wolves, especially up there, but we beat them 4-0 at home this season. And there's no reason why we can't go out there again and get the 3 points.
I'm with you. I think the international break did come at a good time, because you look at our last 4 games that we played before the international break. We played well in half hour of each of them games. Realistically, we were poor against Spurs, got a win. We were poor against Arsenal, apart from that first half hour, scraped to draw. Poor against Leeds and poor against United. So we haven't played well. So the fact that international break, I think, is coming at the perfect time for us. And as much as Wolves is going to be tricky, and our record up there since they've returned to the Premier League isn't great, but the season is one of them seasons where we're breaking these little...
Our record against them in general, we hadn't beat them at all, home or away, since they come back up, and we've done them at home. So, and they're in just a really bad run of form. You can never count them out, can you? But you just never know. And I think... we might not... What happened? What?
I don't know. You went, I think.
I
I thought we was watching another EastEnders episode, like another EastEnders episode. Like you two are believing us both on a knife edge tonight. What's going on?
No, I don't know what's going on. I was chatting away. No, I said that even if we don't beat the teams that, you know, them tough teams, the Chelsea, the Leicester, or even Everton who were around us, if we was to win our on paper winnable games, I think there's enough points in there for us to potentially get that top four. But I think if we can stay between Wolves, Leicester, Newcastle, if we can pick up enough points to stay tight to Chelsea, then we can go into that Chelsea game with the opportunity to beat them and then overtake them. We might possibly can overtake them beforehand, but I don't want to. I want to stay within touching distance.
They've got to play. I'm sure they've got to play Leicester, haven't they? Chelsea have got.
I think they've got West Brom tomorrow, and then I think they've got some tough games coming up. Yeah. So, and I know they're on a good run at the moment. I think they're unbeaten.
Obviously, they've got Champions League as well to worry about. That's another thing. But they've got the FA Cup. They've got so Palace.
They've got a lot of games coming up.
Yeah. They get hard. They've got Man City in May, then Arsenal, then Leicester, then Aston Villa. So their last four games.
Their last four fixtures. So that's where we've got to be close to them because that's where they'll lose points.
But the thing is, I remember when there was like 20 games left, and people were saying, "Oh yeah, West Ham are 4 away." Now there's like 9 games left, and we're still there. So if we can just look, we've been lucky with injuries this season. We really have, and we've got such a small, thin squad, and we've been so lucky. But if we can just get through these last 9 games, and look, even if we was to finish 7th, let's just say we finished 7th. I think that's still a great season compared to what we had last season. I mean, people going about David Moyes. When you look at David Moyes, what he's done, he's come in, he's kept us up. In his first full season, he's got us fighting for Europe. So you've got to give him a lot of credit. He's not everyone's cup of tea, and sometimes he frustrates the life out of me with his substitutions and delaying things and his starting lines. But you've got to give the man credit. He's taken us from, and he's brought in the right signings as well. He's taken us from a relegation-threatened team to, in his first full season, given a chance, battling for Europe. And if we back him in the summer, who knows, next year, because that's where we need to be. We always need to be. This club needs to be a top 8 team season after season, without a doubt.
Absolutely agree. And that's the thing.
I'll only feel disappointed if we finish outside of the European places this
season. If it was a disastrous end to the season and we lose the last 9 and we finish fucking like 9th or 10th, I would be gutted.
Yeah, that's it. It's not, at the start of the season we would have bit anyone's hand off for finishing inside the top 10. But it's the fact the season that we've had so far, to fall away now would be a massive disappointment. You know, you want to be in that mix going into them last few games, and we want it in our hands. Do you know what I mean? We want to control our own destiny. I'd rather, if we're going to mess it up, we mess it up, not other teams. Sort of nick it. You know what I mean? You want to be master of your own destiny. I look at it. But he's doing to us now what he had at Everton when he was at Everton. He's turning us into that hard to beat side that no one really wants to play against because you don't know what's going to turn up. You don't know what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, if we can back him in the summer and we show progression next season, the sky's the limit. We've just got to see this job out now. It's been a hard slog getting to where we are, getting into this position. We just can't afford to fall away.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. So, just quickly before we move on to the next thing, what's your score predictions then for Monday night? Are we winning it? Are we getting the 3 points? We bringing in 3 points back to London?
Yes. I'm going to say 2-0 West Ham. I think they've struggled to score a lot this season. Yeah. Goals have been very difficult for them to get this season. It's become very difficult, even when our defence is good. One thing actually quickly mention, soon we've got Masuaku and Ogbonna to come back. So that's a big boost. Big boost.
And Yarmolenko as well. So it'll make the bench a bit stronger going into them. It'll give us different options when we need them during games.
That's the thing as well. You say, like, with the injuries that we've been quite lucky. You think when we lost Masuaku, he was in form and we were playing with that 5 at the back. We lost Ogbonna, he was banging form. So we've lost a couple of key players at key times of the season, and we've carried on progressing, if you know what I mean. You know, we changed the system a little bit when we lost Masuaku and started getting the results. The Diop's come in, you know. Like, Diop isn't an Ogbonna. He's not as solid as Ogbonna, but he's done a good job. And you know, let's not forget that the fact that we drew with that Arsenal game, we put the ball in the net 5 times. You know, it's just if we convert these chances where we keep hitting the woodwork, we've done.
Prediction then, Scott.
Yeah, what's your score prediction, Scott?
I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, so I'm going 2-1 to us.
Yeah, do you know what? The thing is, Traore, I don't think he's had a shot on target in all this season, but he always seems to turn up against us, so I think they will score. But I'm going to go 3-1. I fancy a nice little 3-1 victory. Bush, 3 points in the bag.
Lovely jubbly. Nicholas.
2-0.
Nick, don't you want to analyse it like Scott?
No, 2-0. That's all I want to say.
Right, before we move on to Ask Us Anything, we've got a bit of a channel update, sort of talk about the channel a bit. There's going to be, we're going to try to get something out sort of every day, because we've got shows. You got On the Social, you got the musings that Nicky's been doing. Scott's got his previews. Dan's obviously, I don't know. We missed West Ham Weekly. We missed that.
I was going to as well. I was going to say what I was going to do is I was talking to Nicky about this the other week about with Jace doing like because we've got obviously the preview that's like your quick, rapid one, and maybe doing sort of more of a chat build up, like a match build up type video where it's 2 people chatting about the game and giving their predictions and going into a little bit more depth. And you got Scott who's like rapid, like he's the stats. Anyway, I was going to do that with Jace. I thought it'd be nice for him to have have something to.
So basically, you and Jace are the romancers, and Scott's the quick shag. He's in and out.
Exactly.
And you and Jace you're gonna romance us with the stats and the facts and like. But
Scott's the one I stand with for marriage, mate.
But obviously, on match day, me and Scott are going to pilot a show this week, the big match build-up show. So we're sort of like the warm-up act for the watch-along. So we'll do like the team news. Me and Scott go through the team news of both teams. The day.
But you're calling yours match build-up,
huh?
You're calling yours match build-up.
Well, it's the big match build-up.
That's what we was going to call ours.
Well, see, we got in there. But yeah,
what you got to say is great minds think alike.
Yeah, exactly. So before the watch along, me and Scott are going to go through the team news, interact with the live chat, score predictions. Scott's going to give us some. I'll do the stats. Scott's going to do all the. It's going to be like a live preview with Scott. I'm like in the element. I can't wait.
So it's near enough what we was going to do, but live on the day.
Oh, hang on. That's a shout. That's a shout for
yeah.
Pre-match pint.
Yes, have that. Do that. We'll have the build up.
We'll
just have the pre-match.
No, you can't have any more pints. We'll be drunk by the end of the fucking week.
I ain't driving, but so that's going to be something. Me and Scott are going to trial this Monday night against Wolves, and then hopefully do it for the rest of the season. And then obviously we'll hand you over to Dan and Nicky for the watch along, then fan cams and post match pint. But what me and Nicky was talking about the other day is we do a lot of match days, but we want to start getting a routine through the week and doing more things. So and listen, what I've got now, it gives me more access to do stuff, so I can get involved a lot more. And we can start.
It's going to be more of a regular schedule, even if it's chatting to you all, and there's going to be more regular stuff going up on a Patreon and all of that sort of stuff, because we haven't really got our teeth into that first.
Once I can start editing again, it will be a lot easier then for me to be able to just go back to doing the filming bits. And then sorry, Dan. And then we've got sort of like we are really building up to. Our ultimate game is building up to going back. And that's the thing we can't wait for, getting around locations again, going, getting back to talk to the fan. Because at the end of the day, you can sit here and watch Friday Night Pint and fucking musings and all of that. And, as somebody said once, poke your musings. Because, the ultimate...
the ultimate aim and the ultimate thing that makes this channel what this channel is talking to people. Is talking to people, being in and amongst the crowd, being in and amongst the football, you know, having eyes on in the stadium, and that's what we do really well. So we've really suffered, like, you know, there's so many mitigating circumstances, and I wouldn't like to sort of complain about what's been going on over the summer. You know, we've all, you know, everybody's had their hardships. Everybody, some harder than others, but everybody's had their hardships. But you know that I can see an end to it now. And I think we're coming into the final straight of this, but that doesn't mean that all this online content is going to go away. Like, and I don't think that it's sort of this lockdown and this pandemic really threw us, because all of this online content that we're doing now, we was planning to do alongside. You remember us all having these discussions, boys, right? We was talking about, we wanted to, you know, even when we're at the games, we wanted to do the watch-alongs. You know, we wanted to have, you know, pre-match content, post-match content, and the pandemic just absolutely fucking shut everything down. But this channel is going to become, we're already the biggest YouTube channel, and that's no disrespect to others, because others do, you know, massive content, but it's about time we started to step up and make this channel great again. It is, because it was great. We've had our whole, you know, ethos knocked through this pandemic. But once we get back, we've been working hard in the pandemic. We've been doing these pints, we've been doing the watch-alongs and all that. But the idea is not to make that all go away. It's to add it to the content that we already produced, and make this channel something, you know, the go-to channel for West Ham news, West Ham, you know, transfer news, West Ham fucking light match day content, watch-alongs, everything. So that is the aim.
100%. I said that to you the other day, and yeah, touch. I said that to you the other day, and I want to get involved a lot more, because obviously we do. It seems like we do a lot of match day content, and we do the Friday Night Pint, but then in between there's sort of nothing. And we've got obviously the musings Nicky's been doing. Next week, Joe's just asked there, what's Graham going to be doing? I'm going to try to get Graham involved on the social with me, because I think he wants to get involved in that. So it'd be good to have him on board. But yeah, there's loads of things we want to do on this channel.
There's also talk about bringing the Ironworks back, the Ironworks videos. But we will be talking about that over the summer. But there's no guarantees of that, because there's a lot of discussions to have. But that could be happening.
I'd like to propose, Nick, that we change the musings name to give it.
I'd like to propose a toast.
Yeah, I'd like to change all these musings. Call it Nicky's musings, because one day it's Monday musings, and it's a midweek musings, or a Sunday musings, or a Friday.
That's the point of having a schedule. It's going to be on a Thursday.
Nicky should call it
Thursday musings.
Call it musings when it fucking goes up.
Shove your musings. That's what I should call it.
That is the best. That is the best one I've ever heard, man.
There we go. Like, if you want to see, there's also going to be stuff going up on the Patreon as well. We are making a lot of plans for the Patreon as well. But bring back the FIFA show, says Lee Davis.
Of course, I'll have to buy it. I'll get it. Should be cheap.
Yeah, no, there's loads, and me and Scott are both looking forward to doing that show on Monday, and then handing over to Dan and Nicky for the watch along, and then it's just content.
And Dom and Marcia are now doing a podcast.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's what we're here for.
But we are going to get Graham involved as well. You know, we're not leaving him out just because we're saying we're going to be doing this. Graham will be involved, because you know, as much as Graham gets a lot of banter from the comments about his eyebrows, but people do like Graham, and he's still going to be involved.
I love his eyebrows, man. I love his eyebrows. Graham loves it. That's his thing, isn't it? We've all got our thing, and that's his thing. But, listen, I can't wait to get stuck in, get some videos, and then before you know it, it'll be the summer, and then we'll all be doing the transfer videos, and there'll be, hopefully West Ham will be heavily involved in transfers. And obviously a few interviews lined up with ex-players, and not all ex-players, but things I'm working on behind the scenes that I'm looking forward to getting done and getting everyone involved. And then obviously the big one, the FA Cup final for West Ham Fan TV, is a Friday Night Pint live show, which we're going to be working on. And once we can all get back into the pubs.
We've got a venue in mind, by the way. We've got a venue in mind, and Dan is going to be absolutely fucking over the moon, to be quite honest. Yeah,
it's in Canning Town.
Oh, fuck's sake!
No, I'm joking.
Not forgetting, we're going to be doing stuff for the Euros as well, aren't we? So now we can all hopefully by that time that comes about.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. All these are coming down, and they're getting England legends put up. Well, I've already got Bobby, and look, I've got.
You're gonna have to paint the room red and red and white.
Yeah, I'm going to paint it. I have to change the green screen. But but yeah, we'll be covering the Euros 100%, and obviously, hopefully, if we can all have maybe a little barbecue or something and do something together.
I'd love another moment like the World Cup that we had in the pub. You know, with the camera. That was great.
Oh, it was great moments, great memories, and yeah, it's gonna be good. You know, I'm looking forward to getting back involved more. You know, getting the passion back for it, because I enjoy what we do, and this is no disrespect to other channels. I enjoy watching other channels, but we've got that connection on this channel because, you know, we're all fucking good mates and we love each other and we can banter each other, and we work well together. So long may it continue, and let's get back to where we want to be.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Long live the bowling.
Yeah, long live the bowling. Oh, it's great to see that back, by the way. What a job they've done organising that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I honestly, I'll put a little feeler out there. I want to know the person that done that originally. I want to know who the fuck done that. Do you think it was just some geezer that was absolutely off his tits and just fucking walked out, and he don't even know that he done it, and he walked past it the next day after he's done it? He probably got pissed, wrote it, fell asleep next to it, walked home, then got up the next day and went, "Oh, who done that? That looks good."
Yeah, but he see it getting posted everywhere, and he was telling everyone he done that, and they go, "Fuck off, John, you liar."
Oh yeah, all right, John. Yeah.
All right, John. Oh, would you do that with that spray paint you found? He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, all right, John. Yeah, whatever, John." Someone mentions it, and they go, "Oh, here we go. John's going to go again."
Here we go. Long live the bowling.
Long live John. Right. Anyway.
Yeah, no,
it's that exciting time. It's that exciting time in life where you can ask us anything, get your questions in, and we will answer anything you want.
Yes.
No limits. Ask us anything. No limits.
Someone asked earlier, but he weren't going to ask us anything. How was my trip to Canning Town? I've been in the thing. My girlfriend lives on the border between Plaistow and Canning Town. She lives in Plaistow, right, just before the bit, and you walk up a bit to go Canning Town. So I've been in Canning Town a lot lately, walking up to the shop, get something to eat. So I'm there a lot, and I don't even hate Canning Town. Right, when I'm there, it's it's nice. You know what I mean? But it's just it's the people that go. Listen, it's nicer than some places. Like visually,
ain't nice.
It's nice. Listen,
I don't care, Dan. I'm from there. I love the place. It's my home, and I always come from there. But there's many things that I'd like to say about Canning Town, but nice is not one of the ways I would describe it.
It's nice. They're doing it all up. They've been doing it up, and you know what I mean. You got the big on the Barking Road bit, and everything's all good there. But it's just like it's the people that go on about Canning Town all the time. I know we had a big long thing about that earlier. That's what I hate about Canning Town.
Yeah, but we can't help it. We can't help it that we've had legends come from Canning Town. You can't help it. I know what you mean, though, when people say, "Where are you from?" "Oh, yeah, I'm from Canning Town." When you look at their passport, and
it's the only place West Ham fans could possibly.
But then again, my passport doesn't say Canning Town because mine says Tower Hamlets because I was born in Mile End.
You're out of towner.
Yeah, but I grew up in Canning Town. That's where I was taken home after the hospital, and I lived there.
I was born in Stepney.
Stepney. See, I was born closer to Canning Town than any of you lot. I was born in Plaistow in Newham General. Yeah, I was born closer to Canning Town than anyone here.
Newham General weren't there when I was born.
Yeah, exactly. Newham General wasn't there when I was born. So
I'm more Canning Town than anyone on this channel. That's it. It's been confirmed, everyone.
CWHU Bell donated £10 and said, "Big shout out to you guys for all the time and effort you put in all this great channel. Cheers, guys." No problem. Steve, thank you so much for watching. You're the guys that make it. I see a good question here, just to kick us off with Ask Us Anything. Billy Voden says, "Love the show, boys. What's the most embarrassing moment while doing West Ham Fan TV? Come on, you irons.
Probably had a
the most embarrassing moment. Probably when I interviewed that bloke at half time and I was pissed. I still to this day don't know why we used to interview people at half time and then upload them the next day.
It was my most embarrassing moment was the first ever interview I did. I told the geezer I loved him. I went like that. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you. And I was like, what the fuck did I just say? And me and Graham was he was very shy, Graham, at the start. He was very shy. And we started off, I'll tell you how we started off. We started off with a GoPro and a dictaphone. And we'd obtained this GoPro. And, that's a tiny, tiny little camera, like. And I used to say to him, we used to walk up and down, the bit where the, what the fuck's it called? The supporters club used to be.
Yeah.
Down, what street is it? No, it's not Priory Road, is it?
Yeah, behind where the Bobby Moore stand was.
Castle, is it not Castle?
Yeah.
Castle Street.
No, I don't know. Whatever the road was called there. I should know. I'll get links for it. So he used to stand there and he used to be fucking psyching himself up. He used to go to him, Graham, take the GoPro. I'm going to ask the next person walks past. And then as someone walks past, I'm going to ask this geezer, all right? I was just about to tap him on the shoulder. He used to grab me. He used to go, no, let's go and have a beer first and have a think about it. for about 6 weeks. 6 weeks. We didn't sort of pluck up the courage to talk to anyone. And then all of a sudden we started the cards. Do you remember the cards, right?
Yeah. I think, what? Funny thing was, I think it was Philip D. Macaulay that was asking about them cards, and he said he wanted one. I actually found some when I was moving. I had a box of them. So if he gets in contact, I'll send them if he wants them.
I've still got some as well. I cleared out my van when I changed vans over, and I found them in my centre console of my van.
I had a box, and they was my car leaked, and they was under where the car leaked. And there was a load of water got on them, so they was pretty much useless, to chuck them in the bin. But you could dig them out if you can, and we'll show people. But it was
I've got some.
It was their old logo with the logo that Dan hated. But it was like what he used to get the card. He's like, what is your aim for the season?
Oh, do you know what? I'm thinking of the business card.
Yeah, same. I'm thinking of them as well.
No, I'm talking about the prompt cards.
When I used to sit up and print all the questions and blue tack them to the fucking card.
Yeah, I used to blue tack them to the card. And what is your aims for the season?
Yeah.
Who is going to be the best player of the season?
Yeah.
Like that.
What is your score predictions?
Yeah, the score predictions. Then we used to upload it the day after the game.
But it's all learning, isn't it? Look at us now. But Scott Wilson wants to know, when was you most starstruck?
Probably Paolo, isn't it? Paolo Di Canio for me. Meeting Paolo was a big one. I'd say that one. But
yeah, 100%. 100%.
For me, obviously, I met Paolo when I used to go to the training ground as a kid. So for me, no doubt, Mike Tyson. When I first met him, honestly, I remember I was at a venue in Essex. I think it was 2009, and I remember we done the meet and greet thing. So I was in this room and was waiting for him to walk in. It was the night that David Hay fought Valleyweb for the title, and all of a sudden these two doors opened. And these two little kids come running in, and a few people. Then Mike Tyson just walked in, and honestly, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone was just like, "Wow!" Honestly, I'll just never forget that moment. And obviously, I met him a couple of years ago in Vegas, which was just as. But I'll never forget that. That was when I really stood there and thought, "Wow, that is someone you don't see every day. Like that is a icon."
I tell you what, the time I was most starstruck was a funny one. Actually, was when I went to see Michael Jackson in Wembley in the 90s, and my mum's friend who took me was at the payphone, so she was making a call probably to my mum, let me know how it was going. I was standing there, and all of a sudden I see Michael Jackson just walking past down the street and everything, and I'm like, my heart stopped, my breathing stopped, everything.
Fuck off!
And then,
I'm
no
not
way,
having that.
no, wait a minute,
No
wait
way.
a minute.
There is
Wait
no
a
way on
minute.
fucking earth that you've seen Michael Jackson walking down the fucking road.
Wait
Have you ever
if you
No.
get to the end of the fucking story,
Sorry.
Let him finish, man.
He went in he popped in the pub and got back a pork scratching.
Bear in mind, I'm fucking like 8, 6, 7 years old at the point at this time. Anyway, so it's fucking like proper, like literally hat, fucking full outfit, the ponytail like Michael Jackson had, and I was like couldn't breathe. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan, and then like with the hat on, and then the head comes up, and it was a woman. It was a fucking woman. So it was a complete false alarm.
See, Nicky ruined it. Nicky ruined the moment, man.
He did.
Sorry, I did. I thought you meant doing the channel. Sorry, I didn't read the.
No, that's what I thought he meant. But when he said Tyson,
most starstruck doing the channel. Don't know.
I had a chat with Liam Gallagher and Dave Grohl.
What?
That's the most starstruck I think I've ever.
You're
had.
in the channel, or in general?
Oh no, in general.
I think it's on like general. Scott,
I've lost everyone. Hello.
Mine was when I went up to Parklock, England, Australia, and I was in with down in the foyer.
Terence Brown.
Yeah, probably no, but all the England players walking past me. It was a bit like, you got the opportunity to sit there and chat to them, and I'm just staring at them as they walk past.
Well, that was Rooney's debut as well, wasn't it? So
yeah. He was one of the only people I spoke to.
Super Stubbies, your favourite YouTube channel, not football related, and do you watch more YouTube or TV? For me, it's YouTube. Go on, Nick. I know you watch a lot of channels on YouTube. Who's your favourite?
Yeah, YouTube. YouTube for me. I like a few, but my favourites, I'll go like top 5, maybe. My very favourite is Cinemassacre. I don't know if anyone has ever seen Cinemassacre.
Yeah.
Angry Video Game Nerd. I think that's my very favourite of all time. I love the Happy Hour podcast. So that's up there. The new Antisocial podcast is very good. That's got to be one of my top 5 at the moment. No, I'll do top 3. I think they're my top 3.
Mm. Yeah, I watch a lot of the YouTubes. I watch a lot of the YouTubes. I'd say 2 for me is one of them's a gaming one called Happy Console Game, and he's a guy. He talks about games and he talks about nostalgia. He's just different because he's very positive and very happy, and I love watching it. I watch all the videos to the end. And the other one is probably wrestling. I watch Jim Cornette, and he used to be in wrestling.
Yeah, that's very good.
And he's super entertaining. He goes off on everyone and everything. He has his podcast, so. Yeah, religiously, I listen to that podcast. So, yeah, I know I hardly watch telly at all, like telly. Scott, what about you? Do you watch any? Ryan?
I'm Scott.
I watch telly. I don't really.
Do you not watch it? You don't watch anything on the YouTubes, no?
Not really. Oh. Not much.
Yeah,
James English is a good one. That's a very good one.
I do watch a lot of YouTube, but I watch a lot of random clips. Like, I just honestly watch the most random things in the world. I just remember things from my childhood, and I've watched things. But I obviously watch a lot of IFL TV, which is Kugan Cassius's boxing channel, which obviously interviews all the boxers and all that. So, but football related, not football related. I like Jack Mate as well. I've got into that podcast, the Happy Hour podcast, as Nicky was saying. I watch a load of shit. Watch a load of random stuff on YouTube.
Oh my god, my favourite channel. I forgot about my favourite channel. It's a channel Dan Damo Jace, it's called. No connection. 3 guys. Amazing. They've got a big announcement coming out soon.
The only thing I actually sat and watched on YouTube before she got a TV program was Dr. Pimple Popper.
Who?
What?
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, is it a kid's
seen
thing?
all
Your
that
kid
shit.
watches it?
No, yeah, someone busted all the spots, innit?
Yeah.
Piss off, Scott, mate.
He's got a TV show, so I watched that. But yeah, that's the only thing I watched.
I like watching a lot of pranks. You know, like when people prank each other. And
A lot of them end up being fake. I can't trust any of them
fake.
anymore.
Yeah, that's why I don't like them.
I'm not talking about like Jack Jones and things like that. I'm talking like proper, like, you know, when just like people like us film pranks and upload them. Not these ones that are set up with Jack Jones running down the street and fucking idiot he is.
Bazinga's channels, like if you was into the FIFA, that's morphed into a good channel. I know it's West Ham and all that, and we know him, and it's a little bit biased, but that is, you know, is like a lot of it's fitness and related stuff and weight loss stuff and all of that now. It's very good, very good. Me and my son like to watch Sidemen Sunday. We really like watching that, but there we go.
There you go. I'll ask this quickly. A rumor. I love that there's a rumor going, Dan's a teacher. He's a teacher. It's true. No, it's so I did used to actually do like teaching in classroom media and stuff like that, but I've got away just to do more assessing. So I go to people's workplaces where I used to do it, and then I will go and judge if they're past distinction, fail at their job, or at their against the standards, and go right. Yep, go and write up my notes. So. Yeah,
that's
my book. That's my book from last week.
Pull the bankrupt. The Nicky's on the front. Skin.
I love this comment. Scott is like my mum.
I think he's in terms of what I watch on YouTube.
Just in general.
Someone said about like TV show like Young Rock. I ain't seen it yet. But I want to watch that, the Young Rock.
Well, do you know what? I was speaking about Jim Cornette. He was doing a lot of reviews of that Young Rock, and they were saying that it's just so inaccurate. Like none of the stuff is what actually had happened at the time, and everything's all over the place. And it kind of put me off a bit. I wanted a bit of a comedy documentary, but you know, like, oh, that's what happened when he was a kid. But they just went all over the bloody place.
What do you want?
I wanted to be.
Bitch it up a little bit. It's fucking Hollywood.
Yeah, but when like if Macho Man weren't even bloody, you know, didn't even meet him yet, weren't even in the WWF at them times, and then just having shoehorning Macho Man in there. Don't do that.
All right then.
Press Lover. What was your favourite toy growing up? Funny enough, me and Nicky was talking about this earlier on the phone. And I was saying that I was talking about the old 80s wrestlers and the early 90s wrestlers that they used to do fuck all. They was just like you press them. And like the arms just used to go like that, but yeah, I used to love the old and the Ghostbusters toys as well. Love them.
If I had to pick some from my childhood, it would be the Ghostbusters toys. That's the things that I played with the most.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I think I've still got. I'm going to put it up in here. I've got the Marshmallow Man that you bought me the other year.
Mine's got to be Transformers. They were big when I was growing up as a kid.
Transformers, that was good.
And the original Star Wars figures. I had loads of them.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. I
wasn't into Star Wars.
My Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys. I was like obsessed with it, and I had the turtle van, which I lost at the bottom of someone's pond. They had like a super deep black sludge pond, and you know, in Turtles, it turns into like you can go on the water, can't it? In the cartoon, and then I tried it, and it just sunk to the bottom, and they could never get it out. It's probably still there in someone's pond in Manor Park. It's still the turtle van is down there.
Do you remember the big blimp as well?
Yeah, the blimp. Yeah, I didn't have the blimp.
Yeah, you know what? It's mad because I'm still to this day. I love Ghostbusters. It's one of my favorite films of all time. It just reminds me of my childhood. I was addicted to it, and I remember like having the fire station and the Ecto One and all that. And I remember when I went to New York in 2011, it was. I remember going to the fire station, which was the Ghostbusters fire station, hook and ladder. And honestly, I had tears in my eyes because I was so emotional seeing it, and it was just great to see it, and I loved it. Loved it.
Did you have those weird Ghostbusters toys where, like, say Peter was in like a scuba gear and you'd squeeze his legs or something, and then his head would pop up?
Yeah, that's when they started to get shit, though. That's when they started to get bad. I just liked the original ones. Like, I didn't even like the look of them.
Remember the ghost, the granny when you used to press her back and her mouth used to go all messy.
I like the ghost and all that, but when it come to like them moody ones where they was in spacesuits and all that. I didn't like them at all. I tell you what else I did like when I was younger as well, and I reckon. I never liked Transformers, and a lot of people like Transformers, and I never collected the Transformers, which was, some of my age at the time was quite odd. I liked Mask. Do you remember Mask?
Mask.
That, and I love them toys, man. Like the Matt Tracker and all of them guys with the fucking flying cars and shit. Oh, Mask Crusader. I used to fucking play with them.
I'll tell you what. While you're talking, I'm going to find it. Nick, I'm going to WhatsApp you something, right? And have a look at it. I see this yesterday, and I thought of you, and I thought, do you know what? If someone would like this, Nicky would like this. I'm going to send it to you. Go on, keep talking.
That's the thing, Nick. The toys back then in the 80s, early 90s, you had so many to choose from. You had so many good ones.
You might have a couple of kids choke on them to death, but who gives a shit? That was, you know what I mean?
That's what made you a man back in the days.
Yeah, I remember He-Man. I used to have that.
I had Thundercats.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what? My dad got me he bought me a black bag home, right, of these He-Man toys. I thought, oh my, I've got all these and they were dodgy ones, right? So you'd play. Remember the He-Man toys had the little rubber connectors on them, didn't they? To connect the limbs, and these ones were like real shit. So you'd play with it, it would break, and I'd go in the black bag, get another one, play with it, right? And just had all these fake He-Man toys.
I'll just WhatsApp it to you, Nick. I can see you with that in your house. But what was that question?
Right.
There was a question.
I'm getting that. How much is that?
I'll tell you what.
I don't know.
If we finish top 4, I'll buy that for you.
Oh, thanks, mate. That's brilliant. I'll never be able to put it up.
What was that question on? I forgot it was. There was a question on the screen as we was talking. It was someone. Who would you like to interview from the past? Something
I saw that. Yeah, doesn't have to be football.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be football. I can't remember who put it up, but for me, if it doesn't have to be football related, I'd probably say Elvis Presley. Sit down and talk to the greatest singer of all time. Happy days. It would be. I'd love to speak to or someone like Frank Sinatra or if I'm going to go right, probably no. You know what? I'd like to talk to Robin Williams.
I was going to say him.
Yeah, Robin. Yeah,
I think that'd be a good chat. Or there's loads, but I definitely.
John Candy. I'd like to have a chat with John Candy.
John Candy. It'd be so good at a dinner party as well. Imagine how entertaining it'd be.
But the thing is, right? I think we've got the question wrong. I think we're thinking about the people we'd like to speak to. Interview-wise, it'd have to be the one and only Bobby Moore. That's what we do. We do football. But I know you said it ain't got to be football.
Yeah.
I'd like to hang about with John Candy. I'd like to hang about with Robin Williams. I don't know whether I'd be any good at an interview.
I know you say Bobby Moore and that, and but do you know what? I'd probably Bobby Moore would be the ultimate, but I don't know. I'd like to see someone like Ron Greenwood or John Lyle.
That's what I was going to. He took my way. Yeah, I was going to say
someone like that.
The only reason I say Moore is because Moore done everything.
Oh yeah,
he won cups with us, and there's nobody there. He captained us to them cups. He captained England to the World Cup. There's no one else ever in the world ever has captained England to the World Cup. He's the only man that has ever done that. So all of them are unique experiences, and nobody else from any other club would get them unique experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%. It'd be the pinnacle of interviews. But I just think someone totally different, because I think I've heard so many good things about John Lyle, and someone put something on Twitter the other day that when you look at the players from John Lyle's era, the way they conduct themselves now, the ones that are obviously still with us, it just shows what a man he was.
Which comment? Which one, mate? I don't know, because Matt's got a few there, so I don't know which one you want me to read out. We might have missed a comment there if you want us to read out. Write again, Matt. The next comment you write, we'll read it out for you.
Yeah, get Matt out.
Yeah, Billy Bonds would be a great one. He's still about. I'd love if we could somehow get Billy Bonds. All right, this is it.
I spoke to Billy Bonds, though. I've spoke to Billy Bonds.
No, but
we didn't quite get
the
interview.
Channel. We met him at the thing, yeah.
We met him. Yeah, we met him. We got up close with him. We asked him a few questions and all of that sort of thing. But it was a charity thing, and we didn't want to impose ourselves. We filmed the stuff for the charity. It was an Isla Caton charity do.
Yeah,
and we filmed everything for them, and promoted it and everything else.
Tony Gale was pissed.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but we got to speak to him, but we didn't want to impose ourselves and say, "Oh, can we get an interview with him?" It wasn't our day.
Billy Bonds is a very private man, and I think he only likes doing things when there's a group of people like ex-players and things like that. So, he's the next step down for me from Bobby Moore. You know, Billy Bonds. He's Mr. West Ham, isn't he? Like, he's record appearance holder, FA Cup winner. You know, he's done it all for West Ham. He's a legend. So, yeah, it'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, so Matt's comment was, can we all raise a glass for Yeovil defender Lee Collins, who sadly passed away yesterday at age 32?
Yeah, that was. I was reading that today, funny enough.
A bit in there.
Captain, only 32. I'm not sure how, or, you know, he passed away, but it's sad. It's very sad. He's only young. You know, he's 32, I'm 37, so it shows how young he actually was. You know,
that's how old I am, 32, yeah.
And just passed away like that. So, yeah, definitely thoughts go out to Terence is saying, can I read out his message? Terence, write it again, mate, and I'll keep an eye on it. Sorry, the questions are coming thick and fast tonight, so I can't
I've got two here quickly. First one's a quick one. Who's the most likely to start a porn scene? That's Scott.
I'd say Graham.
100%.
Graham looks like one of them 70s.
No, 100. In fact, Scott has done a live porn scene before, but we won't go into that.
Scott's most likely to watch a porn scene.
No. Scott's a bit of an exhibitionist. He knows what I'm talking about. I don't know whether we're allowed to take it. I'll talk to him about it one day.
Oh, you've put that out there.
You don't forget, mate. Me and Scott used to live in the same house. When we was very young.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't know whether we're allowed to talk about that, so I'll just leave that one there. And Super Stubbs is, will you be taking the vaccine, regardless of whether it means you can go on holiday or football matches? I've already had the vaccine, mate. I had my vaccine day before yesterday.
Yeah, I ain't even got a text message about it.
A chance to have it.
Yeah, I ain't even had a text message or anything.
I'll just see Terence's question. Ryan, I would like to sit down and interview you. Yeah, Terence, anytime, mate. You want to interview me? Happy days. I don't know. Yeah.
Where would it go?
Yeah, where would it go? I don't know where it go. A Ryan Archer interview could go anywhere, mate. Lead down many avenues and alleyways. But,
I mean, where would it live? Where would the video go?
I don't know. We'll put it on here.
Terence Crane TV.
Maybe you just come and have a beer with him.
He might have a channel. You don't know. He might have a channel.
He can interview me and I'll interview him. A Terence and Ryan show.
Yeah.
Pat and Terence.
When you get together, who drinks the most? We already know Dan pays the least.
This is more of that. We was talking about this the other day in the group chat. This is more of that propaganda, right? We talked about, Scott was saying, the first rounds on Dan. I said, listen, look, I'll live up to the reputation and I'll not pay anything. But Scott said, no, but what I'll do, I'll pay. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy that round. And that's going to be.
Do you know what? I wouldn't say Dan buys the least, but he would definitely like to buy the cheapest fucking drink going.
Oh yeah,
that's one thing. I swear on my life, we used to know. I don't think you remember him, Tom Down, mate. Him and Dan had a standing fucking row over one day because Tom ordered a Stella out of whip money, and Dan wasn't happy about that, man.
Right, it wasn't a Stella, it was a San Miguel.
San Miguel.
Sorry, I do apologize.
I would have approved this. I might have approved a Stella. But yeah, drinks the most. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because it depends what day you catch us on, really. Because there's some
I think I drink the quickest.
Probably, yeah. No, you probably drink the most as well. I can put some away, but it all depends what day you catch me on.
I'll tell you what. Last Saturday night, I was getting ready for the boxing, and we bought. Me and Mrs. went out and we bought a bottle of gin, because we got like a gin cocktail making thing. So I thought, well, I'll have a little whip around. So I've got the old shaker out, giving it 3. Obviously, I don't pour pub measures. I pour Ryan Archer measures. So like the gin was like, and listen, after 3 of them, mate, I was out of it. I was asleep on that settee. That was proper strong. They were nice though. Nice. I had a raspberry flavour. Then we had a pineapple one, and then I can't remember what the other one was, but she tried pushing a cucumber one. But I said, "Well, I don't want a fucking salad. I want a drink. A fucking cucumber."
Yeah. See, I like to drink for longer. I like to drink till late, and I just don't stop, and I keep going and keep going and keep going, rather than like go mental in the first hour or something, and then.
It depends, doesn't it? It depends what you're doing, because when I go over with me crew, I go when we go Eastern Europe. You're drinking from the moment you get to the airport right way till the moment you get on that flight to come home. It's that's it. When you're out for a night out, normally you drink quite quickly to get yourself merry to get on the way to having a decent night out.
Terence is saying it would have to be about West Ham, Ryan. Terence and Ryan show. Yes, mate. Terence and Ryan show. I'm having that. Come on, Terence. Message me, mate. We'll get it sorted. I'll think of an intro.
Nicky, we didn't have a sleepover on Twitch. Did you do a sleep? You did like an all-night Twitch thing?
No, it wasn't all night. It was late. It was Saturday night, so I called it the sleepover. So it was like 11 till 2 or something, or 1.
Can I come?
Yeah, I will be doing. I will be doing that, mate. Yeah, you know what? The plan is, mate. I enjoy doing that. My internet today was terrible. I was out of it yesterday. I normally do it on a Friday night. A Thursday night. One on a Tuesday night. My internet was fucked, so I tried to do it today, but my internet is still fucked. I was fucked yesterday. My internet's fucked today. But as I say, I'm just about to have this super duper fiber installed. So that should sort of like help me with the streaming. But I play. Do you know what I've done, Dan? You're going to be so proud of me, mate. I don't know whether you've seen my Twitch channel.
I have.
I won a 40-man Royal Rumble.
No, he didn't.
What, on No Mercy?
Yes, I did.
Is that when you played
No Mercy? Yeah.
I voted for that. I voted for No Mercy.
No, he didn't.
No Mercy. I won a 40-man Royal Rumble from number 1.
What? They weren't hard to. They were hard to win on No Mercy, man. Them
don't listen to him. He's lying.
No, I swear on my life, you could go back and see it. A 40-man Royal Rumble from number 1. It took me 2 goes because some prick like Al Snow knocked me out the first go.
Here we go.
No, I swear on my life. And then fucking, I come back in from number 1 and I won it.
Oh, bollocks.
Well,
no, bollocks.
It's who's got the clips. You know what I hate about Twitch? The one thing I don't like, you can't go back and watch the videos again. Like once it's gone, can you?
Yeah.
No, it's on there. It's on there.
All right, we'll go and check this out afterwards. We'll go and.
No, I'm only joking, Nick. When things go back normal, can I come around and me and you play like a nice game of Tetris or Mario Kart?
Yeah, mate. We that's the plan for it when we obviously because Nintendo and all of that sort of stuff was about sitting with your mates. So we want to play 2-player games.
I'm not really a computer person. I was when I was younger, but I sort of grew out of it. But I remember Nicky was really into computers and FIFA. I remember once, right, he used to smash me left, right, and centre, right? And I remember once I was 1-0 up against him, and it was like to go, and he went through 1-on-1, and I smashed the controller out of
my hand.
I'll never forget that time where I think he was like 1-0 up or 2-0 up, and his mum called him, so he went downstairs. So I pressed play, and I scored about 4 or 5 goals, and he come back, and he what's happened?
I remember once when we was playing, we played this one time, as I say, like I was pretty good at it, and he scored this. He's won 1-0 in one game, and he scored this screamer. It was about 45-yard. It's an open. He didn't even know the buttons, and I think that's the most frustrating people to play when they score an absolute fucking worldie.
What about Nick when I used to
and they don't know what the fuck they're doing?
I used to pause it, Dan, halfway through the game and go, "What's shoot? What's pass?
Yeah, what's shoot? Yeah, what one's pass? What one's shoot?"
And then when it weren't happening, you say, "Oh, it's X." And when it weren't happening, I was going, "You're lying. You're cheating."
I tell you, I made affiliate on Twitch. I made affiliate in my first week, and I got nearly affiliate. I don't know what it means, but I made it. and I've got 3 followers away from 100 in a week. That's brilliant for someone playing Turtles.
Yeah,
you ain't played that the Turtles on Nintendo, have you? The original
Yeah.
Turtles. That game, right, gave me nightmares. I watched someone speed run it the other day, and I couldn't believe it. Speed run is where you try and finish it as fast as possible, but it had this damn level, and I could honestly, I'd get past it. Sometimes I'd get past that damn, and you go in. There's all these electric weeds, and you got to disarm the bombs. And if I ever made it out of there, I'd have like 1 turtle left with 1 bar of health, and I'd never got past the second level.
Is there anything? I'm sure Ryan used to play that Turtle game because I know he was a Turtles fan. But Ninja Turtles on the original Nintendo.
Yeah. Do you know what else used to be a favourite of mine? The Simpsons.
Simpsons, yeah. But is there anything worse where you hear that little alarm?
Yeah. I'd always hear that on the damn mission.
But it gets hard, man. It gets hard, like really hard. And you know what I was trying to do the other day, and I'm trying to do on it is I'm trying to do an Amiga, so Championship Manager like 92, 93. But I can't work out how to fucking use this Amiga, man. I can't work out how to use this Amiga emulator. For the life of me, I can't work it out.
Well, what the fuck are you guys on about?
That Twitch, man. I'm on Twitch TV.
Steve, I'm thinking the same thing, mate. Don't worry.
Nick, you said about an Amiga. I found one on the job the other day.
Oh, have you still got it?
Somewhere I've got to find it. I sent a picture to Graham.
Have you got any updates?
Oh yeah, bring it for me, Scott. Let me use that, please.
You got any updates on your football cards that you found? You kept them.
They're still got to be sorted.
That's good connection. You got, and you found some little West Ham memorabilia as well. I'm not being funny, Scott, but West Ham memorabilia. If you're looking for a wall to put it up on, I might be able to help you out if you want to bring it over.
I'm having a laugh at you. You ain't got a fucking inch on that wall. You fucking filled that already.
That flag I come across, that I've never seen before.
The flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should put a picture up of it.
League Cup final.
It was the FA Cup final.
Put a picture up of it, Scott. See if anyone recognises it.
I've got to fight. I don't think I've still got it, to be honest.
Everyone go, that's mine.
No, it's not. Scott knows who it is, but
T36 says, can you guys do a Hammerettes blind date series?
Who's going to be Silla
not
Black?
really.
Ryan. What? I don't even know what that would be.
You can't really see it. It's not the best.
Yeah, do you know what? I can be Silla and I say, let's see what our lovely Graham's got to say, and then Graham can come out with his
Hello, Ryan.
Oh, I can sort of see.
And Graham can go, will it be number 1? He works in a bank and he drives a tank.
Yeah. Put it right up to the camera, Scott. So it fills the camera. Anyone ever seen this flag before? Hold on.
I've got a
Charity Shield.
You go.
Yeah, there you go.
Scott made me laugh then. He was just like,
we've all changed.
You know what it looked like? It looked like, you know, when the old Bill raised your house and you're looking through the keyhole. CID Scott.
So I put this. Kane sent this as a super chat thing earlier, but we missed it. So they sent it again. So I did see it, but we didn't get around to answering it. And he said best Grand Theft Auto, which he says as a game of all time. So I guess this is to be down to me and Nicky, because Scott and Ryan probably like, what the fuck is that?
I used to play Vice City. Vice City.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Sorry, lads. Yeah, Vice City is a good track. The soundtrack was unbelievable. Ray Liotta in the voiceover, and the buying the business is up. But San Andreas did have the scope. It's always hard for them two, for me. Both. One was 90s, one was 80s. It's tough. I did like Vice City. I remember running home from the school to play it. The first one, the
isometric ones? Yeah,
they were good for their time, but it's just
you didn't have that connection.
I'm being asked, is this a green screen? I promise you, it's not a green screen. Look. They're real
special
pictures.
That's
you know
special
what?
effects.
The achievement of the night is that they haven't fallen yet. So I'm happy with that. But no.
Ken, I've already spoke to Nick Tucker about it. I was just wondering if anybody else had.
What did Nick Tucker say?
Nick Tucker's never seen one.
I bet Nick Tucker
Never seen one.
Never seen one.
I bet he was like, "I'll have that, Scott."
Yeah, all right, lads. Send it me.
All right, Scott. Yeah, I'll put that up in the old fucking office.
Someone says your most cringy memory that stops you sleeping. I get loads of those, and I just go like, I don't know if you guys get that when you lay in bed and you remember something, and you just
no, because I've got no shame.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? I'm a braggart. What's that?
It's sort of thing pirates used to say, and like people in pirate times.
What?
If it was a blackguard or something.
I'm a pirate.
I don't know. It means that you're like an irreputable fellow, I believe, something like that.
I'm gonna fucking Google that. Let me just Google.
I'm just doing that now.
Yeah.
Google that.
Zach Parker says, worst thing you've done while you're blackout drunk. Shit myself. To be fair,
charming.
It's got to be the worst thing. You can't do anything worse than that. Shit
Hang on.
my pants.
It means I'm a person who boasts about their achievements or possessions.
Oh.
What? So having a few photos of your legends is bragging, is it? Oh, sorry about that. This is what leads. I was talking about this earlier. It's like in these days you can't say anything because so what? I've worked hard. I've worked hard to have my own place, my own room, and I'm doing it for the channel. So if you don't like it and you don't like, log off.
Whoa,
I'll brag as much as I want. So what? I've worked every day since I was 16 years old, since the day I walked out of school. I don't care. Who cares? Happy days. The thing is, this is why, like, I like to do things like this, but I don't like to do things like this because you get people think you're bragging by putting pictures up that are worth hardly nothing. I'm just trying to make our channel look a bit better. And if you don't like it,
to wind you up,
no, he's not trying to wind me up, Scott. He's just, I get this all the time, and people think I'm flash. Like I mentioned that I'm buying an house, and someone says, "Oh, but people living on the streets, you should be." Listen, so this is.
Right, I moaned about work the other day, and someone said, "Oh, at least you got work."
But the thing is, I'm not bragging about nothing. Someone asked about the room. So I told them, I'm not bragging. I didn't come on here, did I, and say, "Oh, look at me, look what I've done. Look at this picture. That's worth that. That's worth that. That's worth that." They're worth fuck all, but to me, they make it look better, and I enjoy what I do. So if I'm a braggart, you're a prick.
He said he was just messing because of the green screen comment. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, everyone's messing when you answer back. That's the thing. I had that the other week. People messaging me. When he messaged me about, I was only joking about the house. Yeah, but you say it on there, everyone sees it. Then you message me private. This is what.
Most
I know what you mean.
Find a blind drunk one. I can't find it again now.
I didn't get to answer my most cringeworthy moment. No, there was that. Yeah. So there's a lot of them, but the one that sticks out, I remember when I was walking in Manor Park down Church Road. I was near my old primary school, and I see what I believe was my old teacher from primary school, right? And I see him. I was like, "You're Mr. Underwood." I went up to him and went, "You're Mr. Underwood," like that, and he went, "Nah, mate. Sorry, you got one person." I went, "Yeah, you are. You used to work over there," pointing at the fucking school. And he's like, no, mate, it's not me. And walks off as if he would have just gone like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. I am Mr. Underwood." Like he'd forgotten who he was. I don't know. As soon as he said, "I'm not Mr. Underwood," I just couldn't accept it. Because I did that thing where, you see someone and you build up and you go, "I think that's him. Yeah, that's definitely him. I'll go say hello. I'll go say so. You remember me," and I built myself up to it. And when he said, "I'm not Mr. Underwood," I couldn't accept it. So I started arguing him about it. No, you are Mr. Underwood. You worked in that school. And he went just not, and I still think about that today. Just the idea he would have just.
It's got to be. I think it's got to be like. I've had a lot of cringe moments, a lot of like embarrassing moments, but I'm not really like it. But I think one of the most cringiest that I've ever felt is when it's like, you know, when you used to call your teacher mum, or things like that, like or fucking think you're talking to someone and you're not, you're talking to someone else, or you know, find out that you've been calling us, you know, talking to a geezer for about a year and you've been calling him the wrong name all the time, and then the next time you see him, it's fucking like proper cringe. I remember once I went to a party and I was so drunk that I kept calling the geezer Steve, and his name weren't Steve. And even though they told me his name weren't Steve, I carried on calling him Steve, and I felt bad about it the next day.
I still think about the time I met Devon Dudley, and he went to give me a fist bump thing, and I went to give him a handshake, and we got caught in one of them things, and I still.
I also went. My mate also took me to a TNA thing, yeah, and we was having photos done, and there was two women behind me. I didn't have a fucking clue who they were.
It was wrestling, right? A TNA thing, women, right?
Yeah, wrestling. No, it was wrestling. It was wrestling. Right? It was my mate Ben Jones got us some tickets for this thing. They had a couple of old WWF superstars, but I wasn't into it at all. But it was like one of these things where you can do this meet and greet and all of that sort of stuff. And I had these photos taken, and these two women were sitting behind this wooden table, right? And they was having photos taken, so you'd have to stand in front of the table, and then they'd stand up and that. And I leant against the table, but I didn't realise I was pushing it back. I was crushing one right up against the table as I was having my fucking photos taken. She's going like tapping the table as if to say, like, stop. That was a bit cringe-worthy, to be honest. But
what about you, Scott? He's frozen. Oh no,
I ain't frozen. I'm flicking through the comments. Sorry.
Someone said, "Look at you with your wall-mounted TV."
I know.
You're a go off, Scott. You're a go off because you got a TV on your wall, and you, Nicky, and you, Dan, with your headphones on.
That ain't a TV. That's just a picture. I just change it every day.
It's one of them fireplaces. It's one of them. It's just a telly, but it only shows the fire. But don't
let them get to you, right? Fuck them,
mate. Trust me, that people don't get to me. Listen, I couldn't give two bollocks. As I said, mate, I left school at 16. I'm 37 now. Never been out of work. I've always worked hard. You know, everything I've got, I've earned myself. I've never asked for a handout, so I don't really give a shit. I honestly don't. You know, so
I don't think he meant.
No, well, you know, I think he did. You know, he said I'm a bit of a show-off, but I haven't mentioned it once. People have asked me, so I've just answering questions. If I was a show-off, I would have just, you know, that's what I mean. So, but let's move on. I don't really give a shit anymore.
Can't top my curtains, though, obviously. Hey, look at that.
Especially when the sun shines through them.
Look at that.
Right, coming back, as Mickey says, have you ever, as the police, ever caught you pissing outdoors?
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Almost. Yeah. No, I was with someone who got a fine for that, 60 quid fine, or someone I knew.
Really?
I didn't. Yes, he's 60 quid.
I got caught. I remember, where was it? I think it was outside Reflex, and I was pissing up the wall, but the cop would come over and I was trying walking off, but I was still pissing as I was walking, and it was all fucking. But yeah, fair enough, he didn't fine me, he just told me to move on and go home, but sometimes you just got to go. You know what I mean?
See, I've never listen, I understand, like, you can't be getting your dick out every 5 minutes and pissing on the street. But, like, if you make the effort to go down an alley or something like that where no one's going to see you in that, if you've got to go, you've got to go. Like, that's my argument, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, if I'm walking down Rathbone Market and I fancy a piss, I just pull my dick out and start pissing as I'm walking. I'd understand that the old Bill would come over and fucking take offence to it. But if I'm fucking, like, down the street and I've got caught up, like, you know, especially in the night time, and I've dove down an alley to try and have a toilet to, like, sort of conceal myself or whatever, you know, they'll come up and find you. What are you supposed to do? Piss yourself?
No, but I don't think it's just about the exposure, obviously. It's about, like, people not wanting people to walk in your piss down an alley. You walk down an alley and all of a sudden Nicky's piss is all over their shoes and then they're walking.
Oh, well, you fucking work. Trust me, you're walking worse.
This is why it's always good not to wear shoes in the ass, you know, because honestly.
I got a nice little $20. That's $30 I've made tonight. $10 from Roy and $20 from Essex Hammer. Smile, mate, ignore the haters. Listen, as I said before, the haters don't bother me, mate. But Thank you so much for the $20.
You're gonna bloody use that $20 to buy something flash for that bloody thing, ain't you?
Yeah. What can I buy for $20 that are upset? Whatever his name was, silly bollocks.
Get pictures of yourself outside with your car and just pointing at your car, and then put that up in the background, and then pointing at your house.
I see that question come up. Pointing at your teeth. I see that question come up last week. What cars do you drive? And I thought to myself, please don't someone pick that, because I only bought myself a new car a little while ago. And I thought, fucking hell, I'm only going to say that, and people are going to say, oh, what are you buying? You got a new house? You got a new car? Ooh. Fuck off.
I got a new car.
Flash bollocks.
I got a new car. It's the Ecto 1. And I'm not joking.
Nicky, he drives like the British equivalent of Uncle Buck's car. You know, he has to give it a little bang when he gets out of it.
Not no more. Got a Volvo now. Ecto 1.
Oh, jeez.
And it's clean. It's clean all the time.
Is it clean all the time because you don't drive it?
Next week, I am going to fucking wear a medallion $sign, a fucking proper like pimped up gold chains and everything. This is it now. This is the new Ryan. Ryan. Fuck off.
Let's have it.
Pimp my fan TV. That's what I'm going to start.
You're going to be like that Harry Enfield, that loads of money.
Loads of money. But I ain't got fucking loads of money, but...
Someone had a go at me the other week for eating on the street. And then somebody had a go at me the other week because I've lost weight. And they said, oh, fuck me, you keep on going on about you losing weight. So I ain't even fucking mentioned it. Yeah, you can't do anything, can you? Everyone's got to have a we all know you've lost weight. We keep on mentioning it. I said, I don't mention it at all. It's everyone else that mentions it. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's mentioning about the backdrop. I ain't said a fucking dicky bird. But then I turn around and, do you know what? Fuck the lot of you.
I thought he was going to go, you know what, and just pull it all down and start doing it.
Calm down. I'll tell you what, though, my best bit of memorabilia I've got to put up, I'm going to put it above me. My daughter bought me this for my birthday.
No, that's a nice one.
That's nice, isn't it?
And I'm going to put a nice picture up. I'm going to put it up there. So, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm starting to feel really old. My daughter's 17 on Monday.
Oh, bloody hell.
Really?
Yeah.
Elijah's 17.
Yeah.
It's crazy how quick it goes, mate. My daughter was 14 in January. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Jamie's 10.
Mental. Absolutely mental.
He's driving me up the fucking wall at the minute, to be honest with you. Me and him are arguing like cat and dog.
He's at that age. He's
getting there, mate. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. Press Lover says, if you had to marry one Star Wars character, which one would you choose?
Whoever's the richest.
Star Wars?
I'll be honest.
There's only one person in Star Wars that you could really marry, isn't there? There's only one like human being. Otherwise, you're.
What? How can there only be one human being?
There's not many, is there?
There's 9 Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I thought you meant the original Star Wars.
Yeah. There's more than 9, obviously, but.
Yeah.
Who would you go for, Dan?
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough because you don't want to marry like a Padme or a Leia because they're getting involved in all the dramas. You know, you want to marry like a bureaucrat or someone like that. Like
marry the one with 3 tits.
that was Total Recall.
Total Recall.
No, that's Star Wars in my eyes. This is the stars.
I've never seen Star Wars, so I don't know who to marry. But I'll probably marry. I'll probably pulled a few birds in O'Neill's like Jabba the Hutt. So yeah, but
yeah, there was.
Come on, your irons. Any exes watching this are gonna be going, "Oh, that ain't me." Trust me.
Do you know what? Actually, it'd be good. If you remember Attack of the Clones, there was the woman who tried to kill. She tried to assassinate Padme, and she was a shapeshifter. That'd be obviously good, wouldn't it? Because you get bored of how she looks one day, you go, "I look like someone else."
Yeah, if you need a pen, Getting a pen. I need a pen.
Yeah.
I forgot the headphones. Fucking turn yourself into headphones, please.
I can't remember what her bloody name was. Or you had the Mandalorian that what's the big woman that Gina Carano played? She was a tough woman, you know. She could beat people up for you.
I still ain't seen a Mandalorian yet.
It's great. It's really good.
Right. There's one for you. Have you ever bumped into a lamppost? Me and Ryan used to have a bumping into the lamppost competition.
Do you know what, right? I was only talking about this yesterday. Do you remember when we went out for the Russia game in Euro 2016? And Scott had a great idea about let's go O'Neill's. So we're walking around towards the station to get a train there. And I see that road sign. And I dived on it thinking it was going to go over, but it didn't. It was stuck in a concrete slab. And I hit it and I just fell backwards. And I remember my leg. And I've still got a chip in my shin bone from that. Still. And that, how long ago was that? What, 2016, like 5 years ago?
Me and Ryan used to run towards the lamppost when we was kids and pretend to jump into them. Do you remember, Ryan?
Yeah.
We used to pretend to jump into them and spin around them and all that. But the worst one is not lamppost, but the worst one was the bins in the Stratford Centre. We used to go to this place called Wheeler's, right? And we used to walk back through. We used to walk home sometimes through the Stratford Centre, and every fucking night to get in there, and we was 18, 17, 18, 19, whatever it was. And we used to walk through the Stratford Centre, and kids being kids used to do stupid things, and you're fucking mucking around in there, and you're chucking things about, and you know, you're pissing about and all of that sort of thing. And one of the things we used to do is we used to slide tackle each other on the floors. Like, you know, we used to fucking, because it's a shiny floor, we used to fucking slide each other. Then we started sliding the bins, and the security guards got the right up with that because we slide tackling the bins, right? And used to go fucking run up to them. I was 2-footing them and fucking as hard as I could, smashing them up like stupid kids do, right? Anyway, the security guards we used to go there every week, and the security guards started to sort of preempt we was coming in, and they'd fucking like be around when around the time we'd normally come through. And we just used to ignore them and argue with them and still do it and smash the fucking bin. Anyway, one day we got in there, security guards are not there. So we're mucking around and all that. I went, watch this. I run towards this bin, right? I fucking jumped up in the air, 2-footed the bin, and the cunt had cemented it to the floor. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
They'd cemented them to the floor because we've done it so often. The fucking cemented, honestly.
And then I used to slide and tackle you through the shopping centre as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
to be fair, someone done that to me not too long ago through Stratford Centre. I think it might have been you. Slide tackled me. It was in that when I was in our 30s, when we was at West Ham.
It was after a West Ham game.
Yeah, he fucking got drunk and he slide tackled me, and then every cunt piled on top of me.
All your crack was hanging out.
All my crack was hanging out, yeah.
Yeah, no. I fucking cycled into a lamppost once, cycling down the road and looking down one of the side roads going, should I go down there or should I go keep going straight? And went smack. And the worst part about it hurt, but the worst part about it was someone was there and just came over to help me. And in those places, you don't want that. You want, just leave me alone. Or you're too embarrassed already. Just pretend you didn't see it and keep walking. And he's like, no, I can get back and walk. That hurt. But everyone does that, didn't they?
There's a few more questions. We're going to have to start wrapping it up now, boys. It's getting a bit late now. Jay Yaz says, what job did you want to do when you was at school? I had a weird fetish when I was at school for a job. It was, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I wanted to be a groundsman.
Wow.
At a football ground. Yeah, I did, honestly. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I thought I was going to go out and do, be the groundsman.
Yeah, there you go. I wanted to be a wrestler at one point, and my dad bought me some Panda Pops. He said, start weightlifting the Panda Pops when I was a kid. And then what you do is you build up to the tins of beans. So you do the Panda Pops, then you do the tins of beans, and then you move up to this. Because my dad, anytime I said to my dad...
So Dan, when are you going to move on to the tins of beans?
Yeah. Or are you going to lift the Panda Pops at any point?
Panda Pops. Yeah, have you got there yet?
Yeah, listen, I'm working my way there. It's been about 25 years, but I'm almost there. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like if I would, kids always say they want to be something like. But when my dad would come visit, I'd say I want to do this. He'd be like, right, we're gonna go get you the stuff. You're gonna do this. Like I said, I wanted to do, animation. I liked cartoons, so my dad decided he was gonna make me the next Wallace and Gromit animator, and I had to do like all of the little clay animation. I was into drawing and shit, so I'd get into all of these sorts, pushed into these ways of mine. But wrestling would have been fun.
When I was really young, I wanted to be a Ghostbuster, and to be fair, there's a part of me that still wants to be one. I think when I got to primary school, I was obsessed with watching The Bill, so I wanted to be a policeman. But I'm glad I never went down that route. Well, no, I say that. Listen, it's a fantastic job, but yeah, I just never done it. But I was obsessed with The Bill, so I wanted to be a policeman. And a Ghostbuster.
I wanted to be in the army, surprisingly enough.
What?
As a kid.
What'd you say?
I wanted to be in the army.
In the army?
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, as a kid, yeah.
I'm one of the most undisciplined cunts I know, so how the fuck, I don't know whether that would ever
but when you're a kid, you think it's all like, action hero.
If it's Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you see the exciting side of it.
Wait, I wasn't 15 pumping fucking Panda Pops, mate. We're talking about 7 years old. I'm sitting there.
I went to wrestling school once. They done a wrestling school here, and I've travelled with my mates. I went to wrestling school. It was the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow, yes, it hurts. My brother would have done it quite a bit of wrestling training and had a match and everything. Like Jace was supposed to be doing it. Jace was going to do it. He was going to do the wrestling training, but he bottled it. He was going to do it recent, about a year ago or so, 2 years ago. But he chickened out. But,
my battery's running out, and I ain't got my charger. Oh no, I have got my charger. I'll tell you.
I don't want to say it because people think I'm bragging, but I am the undefeated hardcore champion for what is it now? 23 years I've had that belt.
Do you know what, right? This prick, I swear on my life, we used to carry it into our ashamedly late teens. We used to carry around this fucking WWF belt thinking it was cool, right? When they used to do this thing, he still got it.
He used to do this. What? I'm going to my mum's tomorrow, right? I'm gonna get it because I actually found it. Like I sent you a picture of it, didn't I, the other week? I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna put it on this show next week. I'm gonna have it over my shoulder. It is an original 1988 WWF foam belt.
We used to carry this belt around when they used to do the hardcore matches, right? And I swear on my life, me, Ryan, and a few of our mates, there was an old car round thingy. Ryan chucked me through the window of the car. I'm not joking.
Rock bottom
me onto the front window, then chucked me through the side window. Everyone thought I'd smash my face in. Ryan pinned me.
No, he was on the floor and like he was cut open. And everyone was going, "Oh, Nick, you're right." And I pushed through the crowd and tried to pin him. That was
we was doing like fucking. Honestly, we used to do like fucking proper wrestling, man, and fucking smash me face into cars and all of that sort of thing, right? And used to carry around this belt, right? And this fucker, we was in his house once, and he went to me, "You can't beat me for my fucking wrestling belt." I went, "Yes, I fucking can." He jumped off of, them like cupboards? He jumped off one of the cupboards onto his bed where I was laying. Right, just fucking like full splashed me, broke his bed, and then I was like concerned about the bed. He didn't give a shit, right? I was like, "Wow, fucking hell, you broke your bed." He was laughing, right? I was like, "Your mum's gonna fucking go mad." And all that. He got a ladder, pressed it on my face, and then started like putting all his weight on it. And I was actually like, "All right, I'm just gonna lay here and let you beat me." He took that seriously, mate. He took that seriously.
That's why he's the champ.
I ain't fucking that, mate. Even now that it's hardcore 24/7, I have to look over my shoulders every week.
Yeah, well, I think one of us has got to take it off him one time. Getting really pissed. and just roll them up.
I wouldn't, mate. It's a vicious cunt.
You got to vacate the title. You can't retire as a champion. You got to vacate.
Listen, I wouldn't flag it off with him. He's a vicious bastard.
I'm like, remember, do you know, like,
on my face, I remember the fucking ladder was up against my face. It was proper squash. And he was like sitting on it or something.
What was his name? Ric Flair was the dirtiest player in the game. He used to poke you in the eye on the slide.
He's a vicious cunt when it comes to that belt, man.
Yeah, don't mention broken beds. Yeah, I broke a lot of my mum's beds, me and my brother, and it was not a pretty sight when she discovered that. It was broken not even breaking our beds, my mum's bed. She had a double. If
you've never put your brother or sibling in a sharpshooter, you ain't lived. You used to do that. Let me practice. You used to crack them up and start. But do you remember? I always used to do the Hulk Hogan leg drop, but I always used to panic and put my other leg under my. Yeah.
Because you didn't want to land on your bum. Me and my cousin in the early days when I was really young, we used to set. My mum used to have like a dining room, and she took the table out, just had the chairs in there. She was redecorating or something. I swear on my life, this is the God's honest truth. My cousin Billy, you can ask him, right? I bought about 5 big, massive tubs of elastic bands, right? I put 4 chairs in the corner, and I got all the red elastic bands out. I sat there, tied them all together till they made a long rope, right? And then I got all the white, because it was red, white, and blue ropes in. All the white ones, and if I didn't have enough white ones, I'd go out and buy another tub. Done a like big, like long thing so they can go around all the chairs, and then blue ones, And we used to have our own wrestling ring in the dining room, 4 chairs in the corner. We used to it was brilliant because the chairs, when you used to stand them up, you used to be able to get on top of them and fucking jump off of them and that. It was the best. And then I made a cake.
Nicky's acting like he used to do that in his. I remember when Nicky and his cousin used to live together, right? And I went around there one day in Beckton. I've parked up. I've walked into their flat and the front door's open. I thought that's weird. So I've walked in. So as you walked in, he used to have stairs straight away. So I've walked up. I've walked into Nicky's room. He's not there. All of a sudden I heard So I've walked in Billy's room. Billy's flat on the bed, and Nicky's got him in some sort of headlock. They're in their pants, and he's going. Billy's going. No, Nicky's going. Get your fat fingers off me, Bill. And he's going. Say submit. And they're fucking.
I'll give him I need him in the fucking ribs, man. I broke his ribs. I had to take him to the hospital in the middle of the night. He started whinging. I've done this the CM Punk knee. When he used to get me in the corner, he was doing the washing up. I walked up to him, I ran up to him and done the knee in the ribs, like joking about. And he went, oh, like that. I went, oh, shut up. Like that. In the middle of the night, he was crying. I had to take him to the hospital. I broke all his ribs.
He ate you on lasagna.
That's why I said, don't try this at home.
It's true, man. I must have caught him. I broke about 3 of his ribs, man. I had to take him to the hospital. Couldn't breathe.
In the era we all grew up, in the early 90s, they never used to put that "don't try this at home" stuff on. So
no, do you remember they had that Stone Cold? They the thing, and he's like, "I wrestle with a broken neck," and they're like, "Don't try this," and everyone else is like.
And Mark Merrow used to go, "I won boxing's Golden Glove 6 years in a row."
Yeah.
Fucking Mark Merrow.
Everyone ignored that warning, though. Don't try it home. It was
that was basically telling us to do it more. That's what they were telling us.
My thing was like, what if I weren't at home then? What if we was in the supermarket? Could I try it then? But the thing is, it sounds like you lot tried to hurt each other. Like me and my brother would do it, and you would try and right, I'm going to DDT you, but I'm not going to actually drop your head on the fucking.
Honestly, I remember once we used to do that thing where we used to have different mates would be different people from the wrestling, and we tried to turn my mate Craig onto us, and I hit him with a washing line and nearly broke his arm. Hardcore.
Oh, for God's sake! My mum.
Right, pick the last question, please.
Mum, you haven't got to tell these stories if people ask them. She's saying
Penny just
she's telling about I broke my mum's bed 2 years ago when I rock bottomed Dion through the bed, and it was so bad. My mum, told she lives on Mersey. She told everyone about it. I went to her work.
Rock bottom, yeah.
I tried to anyway. And I was walking to go and meet her because I had to go and buy a plank of wood to fix the bed. And some customer came out of her petrol garage going, "Oh, you were wrestling, eh? You broke your mum's bed." And then I went and was like, "Fuck's sake!" And I went into the shop to go and buy the plank of wood. And the woman in the shop goes, "Oh, you're the one who broke your mum's bed wrestling, was it?" And I was just like, "For fuck's sake, she ain't got to tell every time." It was so embarrassing.
You should just shut up and give her a stunner.
I should have been it. I should have broke the plank of wood over her like Jacksaw Jimmy Duggan. That's the last question. Do you like roller coasters?
Do you like roller coasters?
No.
No.
Yeah, I do. I love them.
I love roller coasters. Absolutely love roller coasters.
Not a big fan of them.
What have you been on any?
I have. I've been on like a few, but I just, you know what I mean? I said, especially as I got older, you know, you start to shit yourself. It's a bit like.
I think the scariest one I've ever been on, like that really panicked me, was Winter Wonderland. There was this one that shoots you right up, and you just sit there. And I didn't realise how high it was, and I'm not great with heights. And I'm literally sitting there, and my daughter's there, and obviously Jade's next to us, and like I am panicking, like literally, and I could see the fear in my daughter's eyes as well. I was just closed my eyes, and I was thinking, because when you're down the bottom, you can hear the countdown to when you drop, but when you're up there, you can't. So you're just sitting there, and it was fucking high, and I thought, nah, I'm never doing that again, never.
Yeah. I used to do the River Log River ride, whatever, in Southend. That was even that one used to, you know. Is it Log River? The Log ride?
The ones that do me is the ones where you come up like and then you hang before you drop.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that proper like, because I'm not good with dark either. Like I don't like the dark. And I went to this steam fun fair in Malden in Essex a couple of years ago, and there's like a ghost train there. Shittiest ghost train you'll ever go on, right? But there's like two carts. So my daughter and my wife got in the front one and I sat in the back one on my own. But they weren't connected. So they went off and went round, and then you go round on your own. Because I was in the car. I was shitting myself. I shut my eyes and everything. You know them shitty old ghost trains where you get the spider web touch your face. Yeah. Honestly, they're fucking horrible. I didn't like them.
I've done one in Florida. Like I've done a few. Like I'm all right on them, but I'm always worried someone's going to smash me in the face. Because when you're going at high speed, I'm worried that someone got sort of flick off someone and just smash me in a phone or something, right? And that what worries me. The worst one I've ever been on was the fucking one in Disneyland that's in the pitch black. I hated it. I fucking hated it. My shins were pressed. I think it was Space Mountain, yeah. But my shins were pressed right up against this thing. I barely fit in this fucking cart, mate. And I went to say to the geezer, I don't think I fit in this cart. And he slapped the fucking car and off I went, yeah. And it was fast and it was in the dark. I couldn't see where the fuck I was going. I was going backwards and everything. I hated it. And the Mummy. I fucking hated that one as well. That was stupid.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that one.
Right, I've been at the Blackpool Tower and done the walk on the glass.
Oh yeah,
that's mental, that one. But the roller coaster, the big roller coaster at Blackpool. Every time I went there, the day after I left, it always broke or had an accident on there. Every time I went up to Blackpool.
I think I went Thorpe Park a couple of years ago and we went on the saw ride, and I've been on that before, so I knew what was happening. But my daughter and my wife didn't. And I know the bit where they take the photos, and I've still got the photo. I've got it on my phone as well. And there's me smiling, and my daughter looked like she's going to cry, and my wife screaming like that. It's that dip, you know, the first bit where it goes in, it just drops. But yeah, no, I love the rides. But Terence is saying, thanks, Ryan, Scott, Nicky, and Dan. Brilliant. I'm so happy. Terence, I'm glad you're happy, mate. That's what we're here to do.
Looking forward to this interview.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's good. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good interview. Someone said,
right,
what sound would it make if I slapped your head? There you go. That's
I've slapped. Do you remember I fucking clumped that once, man?
Do you know what? I was watching one of our old videos the other day, and it was when we filmed in the what was the pub? The Cart and Horses. And then when Dan used to do the one football intro, and there's one where Dan's doing the intro and Nicky's sitting there going, Then as Dan finished, he goes smack right on the top of his head.
It's so tempting, though. It's so tempting.
I remember that. Yeah, that's why you don't shave your head.
I do shave it. I just don't do it. I was often as
It should be saying Friday Night Pint has turned into an institution. Friday Night Live is going to be massive when we go live in a pub.
Live and in.
Yeah, Friday Night Pint Live is going to be immense. To be quite honest with you, it's going to be such a laugh. We're going to have such a party, and Dan,
so what's going to happen
show
is people can say it to your face, then can't they? Go, hey, you're Flash, and then they go.
It might all kick off.
Fucking hell! I better not get a £20 note out in front of some of these people. They probably lynch me. Off with his head to the Tower of London. Seize the Flash bomb.
You braggart.
I'll just say, look, I can break this down into two £10 notes if you want. This is
Don't you dare pull out a 50.
It's all love.
Right, let's wrap it up because I've got to go to bed because I've got to go to work.
All right, matey.
All right, mate. Well, it's late, isn't it? Fucking yeah, it's gone on, isn't it? What's that? 2 hours?
I think this is the longest FMP we've done.
Yeah, you lot will change
FMP.
Someone wrap it up.
We'll be back on Monday for the Scott. You doing a preview? You got a preview coming out this week, mate? Yeah, Scott had a preview out over the weekend. We'll be back on Monday with the build-up show, Scott, or the pre-match pint, whatever you want to call it. We upset Dan.
I like the pre-match pint, mate.
We nicked his title. So
no more pints. No more pints.
What do you mean?
We've got 2 pint shows. You don't want everyone to get confused about what pint shows what.
It said on tour, we can call it. But yeah, whatever we're going to call it. Me and Scott are going to be on Monday night before the watch along, taking you through the starting lineups and building up to the big match. And then we'll hand over to Dan and Nicky to do the watch along, and they'll take you through the 90 minutes of football, and hopefully we'll get the 3 points, and they'll be all smiling. Then fan cams, and then post match play.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Lovely.
Thank you very much for joining us. One thing left to say, boys.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.